ankle monitor. But first, before that, we gotta go ahead and jump into fresh off the press. Y'all don't wanna lose your sleep on this one because this one is gonna be hot fire. First of all, let me ask y'all a quick question before we hop into fresh off the press, man. What have y'all been seeing in the news right now that's like really got y'all triggered? Like just real quick 60 seconds. What is that? What have you seen where you be like, yo, like that is wild business right there? I'm gonna go with you first, Mark.
The WNBA literally self-imploding. This has been some of the most comical shit I have ever seen. Like, wow, I have never seen a league or a group of people in such a hurry to get themselves fired in history.
Oh, oh, okay. That well, I know you're
No,
gonna give us more context with that.
fired and canceled both.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Is that heavy? I don't
Yes.
watch sports. So.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the guests are too. Sure the people are too. What about you, fool? What you see?
Well, the DSA thing is old. It is old. It's been around, but now people starting to see it because they're winning elections. But once we start talking about who they really are, it's gonna be the same thing like the WNBA. We're gonna watch a party implode from within, and I'm here for all of it. I can't wait.
Oh, well, say no more. Say no more. All right, but first of all, let's bring the lounge into the conversation before we get into our first story. Let's check in with the lounge. Tell us where you're watching from. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Share the live and invite somebody who is not afraid of a serious conversation. I will be dropping the link to join the live within this show. So just let us go ahead and get through these segments, and then we'll be happy to invite you up to say what you want to say. What was you about to say, bro?
Who, me?
You was about to say
No,
something.
no. I had to remember to go stream on some pages on Facebook. I'm doing that. I'm literally right now.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and hop into fresh off the press.
This is fresh off the press.
What's making headlines?
Let's separate fact
From fiction.
fresh off the press.
All right. Now, fresh off the press is where we bring some highlights that may have happened in the news, whether it's pop culture, politics. It don't matter. My co-host and myself, we usually bring something that really kind of had us grabbing our invisible pearls. So, Mark, you was talking about this WNBA. Is that what you're gonna share with us this evening?
Yes, and more yes.
All right, well, I'm all ears. Let's see about it.
Oh man, let's get into it. So, if you guys aren't aware, the WNBA currently is in, I would call, a civil war, right? You got, I guess, the faction that represents biological women, and then you have another faction that represents, I guess, the alternative lifestyle community and being supportive groups of marginalized people such as the LGBTQ plus IA and also the trans community, of course, respectfully for all parties concerned. But that's where the battle lines have been drawn. So over the past 3 weeks or so, the face of the pro girl side, Sophie Cunningham, made some comments where she did not in any way, shape, or form denigrate or was any way disrespectful towards the trans community, but she made comments that were very supportive of biological women. In turn, several owners, coaches, and players have spoken up in opposition to what Sophie Cunningham has said. So much as I guess her name is Gabby Williams. She plays for the Golden State Valkyries. Now, respectfully, I've never seen nor heard of this woman ever in life. I could not tell you if she could play or not. But out of her own mouth, she says that she would welcome a trans athlete on her team and would love to play against a trans athlete. Now, within 24 hours, let's say 48 would be safe. Within 40 hours of her making this proclamation, Ennis Cantor / Freedom declares himself for the WNBA draft. Roll a clip.
If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at training camp.
Man.
Shannon, let me explain something to you. That man is 6'10". Not only that, because Kwame Brown just talked about this for a hot second. Kwame Brown said, I played against Enes Kanter. He's one of the strongest players I have ever come across in my life. So as far as strength, he's a man. Like, it's no getting around this. I'm gonna speak my piece in a second. Mark, go ahead, and because I got a lot to say. This shit is hilarious to me.
Obviously.
As you see, my boy Fu already putting the seasonings into the gumbo that we about to cook for y'all. So let's just break down a few of Enes Kanter / Enes Freedom's stats. For his career, he averaged 11.2 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, and 0.9 assists per game. He played for 11 seasons with a multitude of different teams, okay? The reason why he's no longer in the league is not because he aged out or couldn't play, but he was effectively blackballed. The reason why he is blackballed is because he has a reputation for saying the quiet part out loud. He was the NBA player who took up the cause for his country, which is Turkey, and I guess was trying to shine a light on some of the atrocities that take place over there. But that's not really what got him in trouble. What got him in trouble with the league was when he made some comments in regards to the NBA's dealings with NBA China and the amount of money that was being made and how things were changing hands and how everything wasn't necessarily copacetic. That is what effectively got him blackballed from the league. That brings us all the way back to where we are right now. So, heifers, and excuse me if you feel disrespected, but these heifers have essentially put themselves in the worst rock in the hard place situation I have ever seen in human history. This is the one time, because I'm against all of this dumb shit. I do not want to see men in women's spaces, period. Unless we're invited, I don't want to see men in women's spaces, right? There is a reason why women have women's sports, women's locker rooms, things along them lines. I have a family. I respect that, right? But for those of you who think that there's no biological differences, for those of you who seem to think that men aren't physically superior to women and who don't athletically have an advantage, then, why not allow this brother into the draft? Excuse me, I just misgendered him, her. Why not allow her into the league? As long as she meets all of the requirements, I don't see what the issue is. And then what are you going to say? Oh, no, she's not a woman. So now you're misgendering her and you're not being inclusive. But I thought you guys were the League of Inclusion. I thought this was the rainbow land of inclusivity and tolerance. And everyone is welcome here, right? Right? It's put up or shut up town now, ain't it?
Oh, shoot.
Let me explain to y'all. Mark touched on a little bit. He touched on a little bit. Do y'all understand the money that is about to be involved with what he did? First and foremost, the NBA owns the WNBA. The NBA, they're going to want to end this shit, and they're going to end up approaching him to give him some type of dollar amount to stop it. Because if the WNBA does not allow him to get drafted, that's another lawsuit. This shit is so deep that it's crazy. Because once again, the women of that league, they know they can't compete with that man. Enes Kanter plays in the WNBA, he's going to average 30, 30, and 30. 30 points, 30 rebounds, 30 assists, possibly more. And somebody's going to get hurt. Because if he does this with an elbow, it's going to be a problem. And like he said, it puts them in the greatest quagmire of all times, because with y'all wanting to be so inclusive, are you going to say he's not a woman? He feels as though he's a woman. Now what? And one of those, she played in the WNBA, I think she's an announcer. She was like, don't put us in your politics. This ain't political. This the shit y'all created. And you're getting pretty much reprimanded for your shit. So you cannot be mad. And he's just the first one. Royce White, who also played in the WNBA and plays in the Big Three, who's about 6'7", 6'8", he's also declared himself for the WNBA draft. This shit, you cannot make this shit up. You literally cannot make it up.
Oh man, let's go to the.
It puts it like let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Let's say he gets drafted and he gets drafted and he's on the team.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when he's walking around that locker room naked?
Boss Johnson day.
Boss
Ball swinging through the. I mean, this is what they signed up for. That's just all I gotta say about that. This is what they signed up for.
When she get dunked on and like the first like ball sack gets dropped on one of their heads. Like, I don't think they realize how wild the man game is. Can you imagine Ennis just dunking on crinkle nutsack everywhere? Like,
it's gonna be
they gonna have to hold that, bro.
It's gonna be the shirts versus the blouses.
Yeah, and just so y'all know, it's a rumor. There's a rumor going around that is on tape that Brittany Griner actually admitted that she's a man. This is the rumor. So she's allegedly.
Lord have mercy.
So basically, it's already been a dude in the league already, allegedly. So the plot thickens and it puts them in such a bad spot.
Ah, man. Well, hold on. Let's check out what the comments has got to say. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I see my guy 504 Ray Fisher in the building. What's going on, bro? He said, I caught y'all just in time. Yes, you did. You was on time. We got, of course, Razor Ray in the building. He said, let's put him up. He said, I don't think that they are looking that far ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. The president of the league said they have to put a committee together to look into this. So you got to put a committee to talk about the fact you don't want to do with a dick playing in the fucking league? Are you like, I'm sorry, I had to get that one. Y'all got to give me a pass. How do you need a committee for that? How? No man.
I'm about to tell you how. Because even though we can think that Enes Kanter and Royce White may be playing games, we think that these guys are really men who are just cosplaying or taking this as a joke. What about the French phenom Julie Tetart, who is an actual transgendered basketball player who's averaging over 20 rebounds per game over in France, who said that she would love the opportunity to come over and play in the WNBA if she was ever invited. So all I'm saying is, in that situation, what do you do? So that's the reason why they got to put a committee together, because they have to tread as lightly as anyone has ever treaded on anything, period. This is the thinnest of thinnest ice for them and the slipperiest of slippery hills, because any way they turn, it's a landmine ready to blow the entire league up. And you can thank the shoulders of a few people, like Coach Cheryl Reeve wearing her "We Support Transgender" shirts and this, that, and the third. Not saying anything's wrong with that. All I'm saying is you are expediting the demise of your league, because once you allow one in there, you have to allow them all. Who is to say that one is more of a woman than the other? How can you say that Ennis Cantor doesn't identify as a woman just as much as Julie Tetart does, because Julie
Yeah.
Tetart has taken more testosterone or has been in the process longer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. But this is the mess that we saw coming. We saw this coming, and it's really sad in my opinion, because like, we're not transphobic, we're not homophobic. We understand that people deserve to live out their lives how they want to live out their lives, but like, damn, y'all, why can't we have a separate league for trans people? Just like we should have a separate bathroom, separate, like they should have their own stuff. You cannot infiltrate a female organization or a female locker room or female sports just because you woke up one day and decided, you know what, I want to be a woman. I've always felt like a woman deep down inside. So much so that you ain't even got rid of your butt, your nuts and your ball. You ain't got rid of none of that. So how much are you dedicated to actually being that? Because we're not see trans women, trans men are never the problem. Trans men are not fighting to be in the NBA. They're not doing it. They're not fighting to be in males' locker rooms. They're not fighting to do any of that. They're not really fighting to play sports with men. They're not. They know their lane. They stay in it. And a lot of them, actually, in my opinion, they're the least problematic one. It's something about the ones that feel as if they have to prove that this is who they are. So much so that it could be abusive, which is what I want to share this little segment with y'all real fast. I want to share y'all this video on why this is going to be a potential problem for not only women, but for your children. Because I don't think y'all was thinking about that when y'all was marching and y'all was fighting for the rights of these people to be able to share locker rooms with your children, your young girls, your young boys. It's a problem. Go ahead, Fu. I saw you had your hand up.
With me being a golfer, just so y'all know, there's been a few times as far as the PGA, which is the men's tour, where women have come on to play in a tournament. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I don't think a woman has ever made the cut. It has nothing to do with skill level. It's just because the golf courses are longer. With them being longer, they don't have the length to compete. But it's welcome because as long as you qualify, you can get in. But there isn't nobody faking the funk to do it. They're doing that because they want to play with better competition and they want to see if they can compete. What we're dealing with are people, are dudes that can't compete with men, and they want to take advantage of using that skill level to take advantage of women. I see that as the most cowardly thing in the world. It's sad because every woman, they deserve their own space. Leave them the fuck alone.
Well, can I offer pushback then? Because I think that what Ennis Cantor and Royce White are doing right now is some of the most courageous shit I've ever seen. This reminds me of like the what was his name, Tommy Martin, the dude with the black fist at the Olympics. This is that moment for me. The existence of the WNBA itself has been a joke for the last 30 years. Nowhere in the world can you lose money for 30 plus years and then get a raise. The league should have been absolved. The only reason why it's around is because Daddy NBA subsidizes the league and has done so since its inception.
So do you think it's just it's a DEI project? Is that
I know for a fact it's a DEI project. To be perfectly honest with you, I would compare it to girls JV basketball, but girls JV basketball is better because you don't have to pay for those games. The WNBA actually has the nerve to charge for this mess that they call a product. Anytime you have that kind of bush league shit going on where people getting power bombed, choke slammed, punched in the face, elbow dropped off the top ropes, like none of that could possibly be good for your sport, especially when you're trying to get people to take it seriously. Then you have someone like Caitlin Clark who comes in with actual skill, actual talent, and can actually, do something that is worth paying the money to go see. What do? Y'all literally commit assault against her every single night. And then look what just happened with Sophie Cunningham. In the midst of everything that's going on in the last 24 hours, in the last 48 hours even, with the WNBA, for Dejanay Carrington to go out there and basically commit assault against Sophie Cunningham on national television. And then as soon as she's ejected from the game, the first thing that she decides to do is tweet, white privilege. Huh? It wasn't a white person that did that, sis. That was you. And then the crazy thing is you're talking about white privilege while you're on the basketball court with the bleach blonde wig, the same color as the girl who you just assaulted.
Hey,
Whose
hey, hey, hey,
actual
we
color
not
is
no
that?
no 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 no. We're not doing that. With the
Not doing
don't
what?
don't be one of them people that think that black women can't wear blonde hair.
I
Don't be
don't. I'm
one of
not saying
them.
that you can't wear blonde hair, Shannon. But what I am saying is, how can you sit up there and talk about something that's being racist and then not consider what you're doing in the situation? Nothing that happened to you in that situation was racist. You committed a foul that was a flagrant 2, and you was eliminated from the basketball game.
I don't
The
care
end.
about that. Don't be talking about blonde hair now, go.
No, but I had to. I'm sorry, but I had to rope that in because I'm like, sis, you talking about racism, but you literally are culturally appropriating the same exact person that you
But
talking shit
but
about.
how are you culturally appropriating because her hair is blonde? You do know that there's black people around the world that have blonde hair and blue eyes, right? It's not a cultural thing.
Yes, but it's a culture. It's an anomaly that most black folks ain't born like that. Most black people have to go out there and actually bleach your hair or put on a
And
wig.
white
Which
people
I'm not
do
saying
it
I don't
too.
have no problem with women wearing whatever you want
Then
to wear.
don't
But my
mention
problem is
it.
when
I
you
no,
complain about
because I'm
racism.
saying that because black men have a problem with that. Black men have a real big problem when it comes to y'all running y'all mouth and talking about what black women could do to their hair. Okay, so what if her hair is blonde? There's blonde black people all across this world who are grown up with blonde, were born with blonde hair, who are born with red hair. So when y'all say that, I hear your point, but don't do that because you're wrong. And
Can I
we have
interject?
to
I disagree,
no,
Shannon.
let me finish
I
saying what I
disagree.
gotta
I think
say.
you're
Because
you're
no, no, no,
she's
no, no,
culturally
no, no,
appropriating.
no, 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 no. Hold on. And I'm saying this because it's not cultural appropriation if there's black people with blonde hair. There's black
But it's
people who
not
are
her blonde hair.
born.
But she's not. But she wasn't one of them though.
But
She
why
wasn't
is
born
that
with black hair and
no, but
blonde
I'm
hair.
asking why is that cultural appropriation if there's black people with blonde hair?
Because you are emulating the exact person that you are attacking. That's what I'm saying. You're
How is that
emulating
emulating if there's black people with
because you
blonde
know
hair?
what I'm saying is when your hair color is the exact same color hair color as Sophie Cunningham, and you're attacking Sophie Cunningham and then claiming racism. To me, that doesn't make sense. Those don't hold up. It's a conflict of interest there. You can't talk about something being racist and then you're culturally appropriating.
You ain't
Now, if you
cultural
now
appropriating
she
no
want to just
blonde
wear her, now
hair.
if she want to wear her wig and her lashes and her long ass nails and do her, then do you, boo boo. I'm not mad at that. But when you jump out the window talking about something is racist, now I gotta push back on you, sis. Like, huh? That's the pot
Don't be
calling the
talking
kettle
about
black,
black people
baby.
with blonde hair. I don't give a damn because my hair blonde.
This woman did that and screamed white privilege while she's working for a league and a team owned by white people. What she doesn't realize is she
I agree with that
literally
part.
she literally just blackballed herself. That I'm
I
telling
mean,
y'all,
yeah.
this is not. And mind you, the league was put there for them not to have to travel to Europe and all this other stuff. And she's about to be in Europe, mainly because of that statement alone, and she doesn't get it. Like I understand saying things in emotion. I get that. But that right there, every part of what she did is going to be a chain reaction effect of her
Yeah.
career about to be over.
I mean, but we've seen this several times. I think with Angel Reese, is that her name? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? With like we've seen this several times. So I mean, like, I get what you're saying. I wasn't against that. However, black people got blonde.
You got it, Shannon.
And the sad thing is, I don't even feel bad for her. That's your fault. She's
Me
stupid.
either.
She's stupid.
Did you see that she came back out and tried to, I guess, address the situation and say how she felt bad and how she didn't mean to do it? And I'm like, sis, you can slow that down every which way and every angle, and it looks like assault. You're lucky you didn't get arrested.
But you
And
Nah,
then
know
what
what's
pisses me
missing?
off
You
is
know
the
what's
stuff
real?
on ESPN about how they've been commenting on this, trying to give it, I guess, a whitewashing, trying to make an excuse for Dejanay Carrington's behavior, saying that this is commonplace, and if you slow it down, you'll see that she was really just going for the ball, and she's made other plays like this. No. You have to be aware in that moment, considering what has just transpired within the last 48 hours in the WNBA. You have to be aware of who that is that's going to go make that play, and you have to play the game within the game.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't try to go after her head and try to knock her out completely. Maybe you allow that rebound to go on. You know, it's better for her to score that point and the game continue on, and then we don't have headlines to talk about, as opposed to you do what you did and now you're viral again. So now we're talking about everything when it comes to the WNBA except for the actual play on the court. You know why? Because the play on the court actually is trash.
It's been like that for a while.
You would be a dumbass to spend your hard-earned money to go watch women run up and down the court and foul each other, because that's what it is. It's just running and fouling.
Give me the days of Cheryl Swoop and stuff.
Yes.
Don't like
actually who?
Like Cheryl Swoop and what was her name? Lisa Leslie.
And she actually could hoop back in the day.
And Cynthia, the thing about what he's saying, which is true, is that they've gotten away from the quality of the game. Yeah. Because when you watch women's basketball, the downfall is women miss a lot of layups. This from the high school all the way up to the pros, and it doesn't look good. But my biggest thing about this whole situation, not necessarily this one, but the Enos can't letting men in, is that you have young girls going to these games because they look up to these women as professionals because they play basketball also. What do you do to their psyche when you let men in? That's a problem. Along with when you factor in this situation and you looking at what's going on, that's not the way you put things out there to these young girls. The one thing we all know is young kids are very, very impressionable. And when you start talking about the women's league, their league is not, it's apples in a goddamn house and a car compared to the skill level and everything like that. So they got to have their own lane. And this makes them look bad. Yeah, all of this makes them look bad, and I feel for them because, I mean, like he said, the product is trash. I would say 75% of the product is trash, and this makes them look worse.
That's 75. Damn.
Yes,
it's unwatchable. Like, try to watch a whole entire game from start to finish. It's literally unwatchable.
It's
unwatchable. It's not. I'm not even hating.
I wouldn't.
College basketball, women's college basketball. That's tight. Watchable. Like that's they be tight. The WNBA, nothing.
Let's go to the comments. All right, Ray said, I can't believe what I'm seeing nowadays. Me either. Me either, man. Cheryl Smith, what's going on, Miss Shirley Smith? He said, I agree with him. It's not the blonde hair, it's the fact that she's calling white privilege. I heard that. I agree with that part. Leave the blonde hair alone. I let everybody wear blonde hair if they want to. I have blonde highlights also, but don't call white privilege. Actually, their hair is lighter than Sophie. If white players attack black players the same way, they be marching in the street.
Exactly.
I can't lie with that one. Exactly. I can't get mad with that one at all. What's going on, BKC 85? All right, y'all. Well, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but like I had heard some disturbing news regarding it. And like me and Rayshawn was talking about it the other night. And I was like, this kind of plays in perfectly with this whole situation. Do you all know who Sydney Starr is? Have y'all paid attention to that situation?
Yes. That's Eddie Winslow's cuddle buddy. Yeah, I know exactly who the fuck it is. Yes. Kissing all on that man. She's ashamed of herself.
But it wasn't even a man. It was a boy.
No, it was a boy. I'm talking about Eddie Winslow kissing on that boy.
No, but did you hear about the boy?
Yes. Yeah. That's why he's locked up. Yeah.
So
he needs to be under the jail.
He does, but see,
actually, no, he don't. He don't need to be under the jail. He needs to be right in general population. That's exactly what he need to be.
But I had so many questions, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But I got so many questions. I got to show y'all this video. Because what's his name? Funky Deneva, our friend, he had some real choicey things to say about it. Because I'm starting to realize, like, and I'm wondering if my people who are part of this community can say something about this. Like, are they trying to combine you with these pedophiles? Is that what's going on right now? Because I'm trying to understand, when did we start making excuses for grown people who have a sexual attraction to children. Why are we feeling sorry for them again?
Are you about to play a video?
I'm about to play this video.
After you play the video, I'll speak on that.
Because I'm disturbed by this situation. Because first of all, here's the things about that I was not aware of. First of all, the little boy was 14 years old. He wasn't 16. He was 14. That's one thing. Secondly, the media online first said that they met online. No, it was at a hotel. He apparently was there with his family or something, and then saw Sydney Stars and thought it was a whole female. She was a beautiful woman. She was, as a woman. Apparently, somehow, this boy sneaks off with Sydney Stars, right? 14 years old. I don't know where the mama was at. Where was the mother? Where was the auntie? How y'all didn't know that this boy was missing? At the end of the day, she gave him fellatio. He gave him fellatio. And when they was about to get ready to get it going, and the boy saw what it was and got the hell up out of there. So that was that could have been that boy's first sexual experience. And it had happened to be with a trend. Do you know that boy may be scarred for life?
He's scarred.
I just
no homie is cooked.
I was gonna say the same exact thing, and that is the reason why this mental illness has to be addressed. Like this.
Oh yeah.
That part I didn't know, and that pissed me the fuck off. That pisses me off.
I didn't know that either. Like I had no idea that like the little boy did not even know. And I'm not gonna say he was a teen because he was 14 years old. He was a child. And that could have very well been his first time with what he thought had been a woman. So this is why y'all gotta be mindful. Your parents who are okay with this stuff. See, nothing ever affects y'all until it hits y'all front door. It just seems as if it doesn't. However,
let's see that clip.
I gotta let y'all see the clip because hold on. Can y'all hear it?
Listen to this.
Feel
Listen.
bad for anyone who wakes up one day and discovers that they have a sexual attraction to children. Listen to me carefully, and I'm not talking about people who have acted on it.
I'm listening.
I'm not talking about people who have acted on it or harmed children. Listen carefully. I feel bad for someone who woke up one day and without any choice of their own had for them what was a natural attraction to children.
Natural attraction to children.
I feel like it's a burden that none of us would ever want to carry. And I always say I'm very fascinated by the human brain.
Why?
And I am.
Why?
And
I don't care why you need to understand it. Y'all see what I mean by they're setting their community back? Because now y'all are attaching the LGBTQ with the pedos. This is the second time this week I done seen one of these famous individuals, a part of that community, allude to supporting chomos or some kid stuff. Didn't Saucy Santana just say the kids want to fuck them? They're trying to normalize this stuff. See, back in the day when a lot of us were okay with, everybody getting married, and I'm still okay with, I don't give a fuck who's fucking who, to be honest with you. I just not okay with agendas being pushed. And at this point, they're trying to push the agenda that it's okay to have this proclivity to where you're attracted to children. I'm not cool with it. We've always, throughout history, had a remedy for people that abuse children. A lot of times it's the goddamn wood chipper. I don't need to be this psychoanalytic shit, and they're attaching it to the LGBT community to elicit empathy from the people who have supported that community all these years. And there's nothing wrong with supporting people who love who they want to love, unless those people that you want to love on are fucking kids. You just had Saucy Santana quiet on the creek, and y'all was singing that stuff and repeat. Y'all don't even hear that the nigga is talking about probably potentially touching kids.
All right. Well,
I want to say two things to this particular situation. Number one, based on what he did, Sydney Starr is not going to last in that prison. I'm letting y'all know that right now. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good because a lot of those men in there have children. It's going to be bad. Forget the fact of him being who he is. Damn all that. It's what he did. Number two, what you mentioned about them including themselves in the Libiquita movement, it's been on par for over 20 years. If anybody looks at their flag and looks at the one with the things on the side, like the little arrows that's like flag, like stars, there's a section that is white. That is for the pedophiles on their flag. This is one of the sickest things that has ever happened in this country, and it is honestly and truly sad. I've said it since I was a child. Leave the children alone. Whatever you're going to do whatever you're going to do. Keep it adult. Let children be children. Do not put it in front of them because children are very impressionable, and they're doing everything in their power to make that happen because they want to shape their minds. So I'm putting the onus on every adult out there and every parent out there. If you're not doing your job, the takeover is real. It ain't got nothing. It ain't just politics. Yeah. Because they know that the way to the future, no matter what time period it is, it's always going to be the children in every way. And they do every single way. They do every single thing possible to infiltrate that. And it's sad. What I will say is, for me not to have any children, none of that is happening on my watch. If I see anything, get ready. You let me see a dude walk into a girl bathroom, it's going to be a problem. It's not happening on my watch. Now, I know how it is with domestic violence stuff. I'm not getting involved. And even with kids out there, it's a little different if that's their parent. Certain things, it's not happening on my watch. I don't play them games, yo.
On my watch.
Oh, man.
I mean, and I know you're about to say something. I'm not going to go too much because Tony just came in. I want to introduce him to the people. But, like, this disturbed me so much because even though I don't have kids, I have nieces, nephews. You know what I mean? My man, he has children. And I don't play about kids. I don't play about kids. I don't play about animals. I don't play about elders or disabled people. Those are my four I don't play with. But the fact that they are making this normal and they're utilizing people of color to do it.
Please don't say that no more.
Yeah, these are people of color.
Just say who they are. Just say who they are.
No, I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're Black Americans. I don't know if they're Haitian Americans. I don't know if they're Jamaican. I don't know who these people are. I just know that they're people of color.
I know what we do know. We know they liberal. If we want to,
and that's why they
blame
people
anybody right now,
and that's why they people of color in my eyes. I don't know. I really truly think that Saucy Santana, or I think that Funky Deneva is Haitian. I do think that he looks like John Claude. He looks like the John Webb.
I want to blame liberal women specifically for creating an environment for where somewhere like Funky Deneva could even exist. He has to have some sort of target audience. He certainly isn't talking to me.
It's women.
Answer not talking to Fu. So he has to have some sort of audience. Someone supports him. Someone is the reason why he's as viral as he goes, and he has the fame that he has. And like I said, it's certainly not the men who are supporting this. So that's why I said liberal women have created an environment for where these alternative lifestyle men have become the loudest voice in the room, and masculinity has all been seen as toxic and has been canceled. So now, like I said, liberal women have created an environment where a Sydney Starr could exist and where a Dineva could exist, and they both serve the exact same goal.
Yeah, I agree. Whew. Tony L, what's happening, bro?
He might still be handling his business. He said he was gonna get on like 5:45, 6. So
Okay, cool. I just went ahead and brought him on. So once he gets on, I introduce him to everybody. Let's go to the chat. What's going on, Miss Samantha? What's happening, sis? Welcome, welcome. Shirley says, exactly, going for the children. Please protect our children. Like, y'all got to be a parent nowadays, got to be some scary shit. That's gotta be terrifying. And I was just more so concerned about like how did y'all not know that little boy was missing?
This is what we dealing with right now. It's honestly,
what was y'all doing that y'all did not know? Like, what is this, Home Alone? We were just discussing like during Christmas time how terrible Kevin's parents were. So you mean to tell me you forgot a whole child?
You gotta
twice?
You gotta give in this situation. You gotta give it slight grace, and the only reason why I say that is because it depends on why they were at that hotel. I'm only mentioning that.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't give it grace, because we know that right now they are kidnapping people. We know right now that there's a problem with human trafficking with children. We know about Kanika Jenkins and what happened to her at a hotel.
No.
We know what's going on. So no, I'm not giving them no grace.
I'm not saying, I'm talking about the situation, because when you start talking about situations where there's a family function at a hotel, kids are running around the hotel free like that. That's why I say it just depends.
In a bar area, in a bar and hotel, in a bar and restaurant area.
That's what I'm saying. That's different. I'm thinking.
The boy was gone long enough to get his penis licked on, to possibly have sexual relations with this person. So no, like there was no. I can't buy that.
Say it again. Y'all hate y'all kids.
You know what's crazy
you
is that
be mad with. Don't tell me about how you love your kid. Don't tell me how you'll do this for your kid and you do that for your kid and you buy new Jordans for your kid and you buy the new Adidas and the new Crocs and the new Birkenstocks. I don't give a goddamn. You hate your children. Why in the world would your child even be exposed in a situation like this? How in the world could you have a 14-year-old child understanding how hormones and everything work and not have a watchful eye on your child? If we were just talking about children running around the hotel with all of these pedophiles snatching people, and you talk about children being eaten for all of this, how in the world can your children be running around anywhere without you knowing exactly what's going on, where they at, and what they are doing? That seems like the epitome of irresponsibleness. But here we are sitting there talking about, oh, I love my kid. Oh, I love my kid. Again, we can harken this all the way back to the Nolan Wells situation. You love your child so much, but yet he was on this island drinking and doing drugs and not using common sense or rationale. His ride was telling him, hey, we're leaving. We are leaving. We are leaving. He was told multiple times to get on the boat, but instead he opted to party. But then you come out here and you want to sing this song for everybody else. Where was your parenting? Same thing in the Carmelo Anthony in the Carmelo Anthony situation. If you would have raised your child with conflict management, maybe he wouldn't be doing 35 years in jail right now.
Stop. Don't bring that. Please don't bring that. That brand. No, don't bring that Brandon Tatum shit on the show, bro. Because like at the same time, that could be on both sides. That could be on both sides.
No. We talking about transcend race, though, Shannon. I'm not.
No. You brought that up.
Transcends race. I did.
You brought that up.
But I'm not talking about the race of the parents. I'm talking about their inability to parent their children.
Let me finish my point.
What?
The same way that you sat here and you said that, well, if Carmelo Anthony would have had if they would have had better parenting skills, he wouldn't be locked up. Okay, well, if the family would have had better parenting skills and telling their kid to go tell somebody and tell an adult to remove their have conflict resolution skills, then their son wouldn't be dead. If they had better parenting, no, because you brought that up. You brought that up.
I did, but it doesn't equate to you losing life, and it has nothing to do from the standpoint of. I wasn't coming at it from a standpoint of race. I'm coming at it from the standpoint of poor parenting.
I didn't mention race. I didn't mention race.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not coming at this from the angle of that. I'm coming at this from the angle of, in Carmelo Anthony's case, the reason why that went poorly is because of poor parenting. Had they raised their child better, he would have made better decisions.
And had they raised their child better, their child wouldn't have got stabbed.
But you putting your hand on someone,
no, it's on both sides, bro. You're not gonna sit here and bring that Officer Tatum shit to my show. It's on both sides. It's on both sides. It's bad parenting on both sides.
I agree with it. I
So
agree
with
that there's
that
bad
being
parenting on
said,
both sides,
for you
but
to
I don't
sit
see where the
here
bad parenting was
because
in the
you
Austin Metcalf
mentioned the
situation.
boy
How
who's
was
in
they a bad
jail.
parent?
You didn't mention the boy who got stabbed. You
Right, because he
mentioned the
didn't
boy
deserve to be
who
stabbed.
I
He was
didn't say he
satisfactorily defending
did,
his
but
area.
you're not
Carmelo
going
Anthony
to
should
come
never
on
even been in
here
that
and
area
do
to
that.
begin
You
with.
playing
He
that. You
shouldn't have
playing
needed.
that, bro.
I
You're not gonna
understand that,
play
but
that
Shannon,
shit
he
over
shouldn't have
here.
needed to tell an adult. Why
No,
did he need to
but
tell an
he should
adult?
have went to go tell somebody if he
Why
didn't
did
move.
he
If
need
you,
to?
I'm about to tell you what. If you ask somebody to move 11, 15, 12 times, why in the hell is it up to you for you to put your hands on a boy? You should
Why
have
would
went
they
to
need
an
to tell you
adult the
11,
first
15 times
time.
to move, though, Shannon? How
But
many
this is
times
what I'm saying. It's on
he should have
both
left the first
sides,
time?
Mark.
He should have left the
You're not
first
going.
time.
You can't sit here and say, "Oh well, the boy over here, he wouldn't be in jail." No, he wouldn't be in jail, and he wouldn't be dead if both of their parents told them what to do in situations like that.
I disagree with that because him lightly pushing Carmelo did not equate to him being stabbed with a
But
knife.
after,
Why would
okay,
Carmelo even have
so
a
let
knife
me
at the
ask you a
factory in the
question,
first
Mark.
place,
Let
Shannon?
me
You can't
ask you a
explain that.
question, Mark. How many times is it going to take for you to move if somebody asks you to move?
Once,
Right? So
not
why would you?
15.
Why exactly? Not 15. So considering that there are adults there, why would you let somebody tell you? Why would you tell somebody 11 times to move? Why wouldn't you just go get a coach?
Because I'm trying to handle the situation on my own because the coach told me the night before to step up and be a leader. He was just doing what the coach told him to do. He didn't think it was going to end up with his life being.
So you're gonna keep
ended.
asking them 12 times?
Apparently he needed to ask him 15. Maybe if he would have asked him
Why
30,
would you keep
he
asking them
wouldn't be
15
dead right now.
times, Mark?
But why? But my thing is this: if Carmelo was raised right, then why was he in a situation where he didn't belong at in the first place? You're already trespassing in the area you don't belong. That's fine. Okay, you were invited. However you got there, that's cool. But once you were asked to
Mark,
leave by multiple people, then it's time to go. But then you continue to stay there and get
let's
belligerent.
move
That
on
speaks to your
because
parenting.
because
Like I was saying, my whole point is about
I
parenting.
don't know because I don't like that you even brought that up. We ain't even talking
But it's
about them.
relevant though, Shannon.
It's
It's
not
relevant.
relevant. Why would you even
Absolutely,
bring
because
that
I'm speaking
up
of, my
when you
point is
know
overall
what
about
it's gonna
people hating
do?
their children, and you can't tell me that they raised over $600,000 for this boy and then sent him out there with that piss poor
Mark,
ass defense.
Mark, you need to stop watching Brandon Tate.
What is
Stop watching Offensive
that?
Tate
Wasn't
because
for,
you're
but that
bringing it
wasn't for
over
Brandon
here, and
Tatum, though, Shannon. That was
I'm
for
not with
Dominique
that shit.
Alexander.
Don't bring that over here. We're not even talking about. Why would you even bring that when you know how emotionally charged that conversation even
Because
is?
it's a conversation that needs to be had.
No, it doesn't. We already talked about it
Absolutely, it
weeks
does.
ago. We
And then
don't
why
want to
would
talk
you
about it.
mention Brandon
Let's
Tatum? He
move
doesn't have
on.
anything.
We're moving
This doesn't have
on.
anything to
We're
do with the
moving
Carmelo case.
on. We don't want to talk about that because you already know what that situation has brought. We already said last
Yeah, a
time
lot of
before we
foolish
even went.
people.
Let me finish
It's
what I'm
already
saying.
in the comments. That what just happened. Everybody talking about it in the comments. Please let's move on. Please.
It's too crazy. It's too much. Anyway, like I said, hold on. I'm going to the comments. What the hell is he saying?
The truth.
No, that's your truth.
That's
That's
the
your
actual
truth.
truth.
That's your truth, Mark.
What did I say that was a lie?
Say what? Come on, fam. Carmelo defending himself. What the hell? I'm not here to defend on nobody's side. The whole point was is that we're talking about parenting, basically. And it went all the way to a situation that we thought we was done with.
No, we are. We done with it. We done with it.
So we're gonna keep on going because Tony is here. Hi, Tony.
Tone face says it all.
What's good, bro?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
loud and clear, yo, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry, I was a little held up, but I'm here now.
Oh, it's okay. Welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good. You know, I was just listening to the conversation.
Do you have any thoughts, Tony?
No, I was actually gonna say, Tone, before you have your thoughts, please big up all of us, yo. Please big up all of us.
Oh yeah, well, it's a new social media platform that I'm building. It's actually a social ecosystem, so we'll be launching it commercially very soon. But it's allofus.com, OLEVUS.com. But yeah, but we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, I'll come in on the conversation.
Yeah. We were just talking about the situation with Sydney Starr and how it's become quite dangerous for that they're kind of involving the trans situation with, pedophiles at this point. Have you noticed that that has been like the conversation right now? Like that it seems that they are taking up for people who actually are attracted to children?
Well, yeah, there's always been a concerted effort to integrate the pedophile movement into the LGBTQ movement. I mean, it started, I mean, went back as far as MAPS. Remember that? Not MAPS. What is it called?
No,
NAMBLA. No,
no,
the
it is MAPS.
NAMBLA.
Minor attracted persons. It is
No,
MAPS.
no, 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 no. It's MAPS today, but before that, it was NAMBLA. I think it was the National Association for Man Boy Love or something like
Oh
that.
my God, yo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, so there's always been that attempt to do that. And people have to be careful because, you know, I get it. Everyone has their fight. But the thing is, uniquely the LGBTQ community has always had this plus. You ever notice there's always a plus? There's always a new group that's going to be added to it. You know, what is it? Like bisexual and non-binary and like now you got people identifying as like cats and furries and all types of weird spirits. So that's what happens when people just decide that they're going to live in the world of subjectivity. You don't even have to like recognize reality or even morals anymore.
Oh my God, this is for real. I've never heard of this before.
Oh
I just
wow.
wanted to look this up. Wow. NAMBLA, the North American Man/Boy Love Association,
Okay, yeah, that's it. North American, yeah.
is an advocacy group founded in the United States in 1978 that campaigns for the abolition of age of consent laws and the legal acceptance of sexual relationships between adult men and minor boys. What? Oh my God.
Yeah, but you see a lot of progressives who are advocating for that now, like to normalize, you know, adults who want to, you know, who love children, who are attracted to children, as if you shouldn't judge them, you should welcome them. But you got to remember something too, like with the whole movement, like, you know, this trans movement where you're transitioning children and, you know, you're confusing kids. You got to remember something, like in states like California, you have them trying to pass all of these laws where it allows a child to make adult decisions, permanent adult decisions without the involvement of their parents. And if you think about that, who would really love to see something like that? Children making adult decisions legally. Predators. It's predatory behavior.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually saw that they were trying to pass something in Congress. They must have removed it because it definitely looked like that they were trying to pass something here. I had clicked on the link, but as you can see, there's nothing there. The fact that there was even a thought that it would even be there is insane. That's crazy.
In fact, it may not be passed by Congress, but Tony hit the nail on the head. What goes on in California is actually sickening with their parades and stuff like that, because there's naked men doing things out there in front of children. When I say California, the stuff that they allow out there is sick. And once again, attacking the children is crazy. It's sad. And I just wish that more men would step up. And whoever Forever Black Diamonds is in the comments, she just said that that group either was started by or is funded by George Soros. Again, you see where this is going, and it's honestly and true. Like I said, it's just sad, yo. It's sad, and I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna stand on that hill till it's over. We got to protect our children.
It is sad. The only reason why I'm laughing is because I feel like Tony just vindicated my whole argument. So that's why I'm over here like.
What you mean your whole argument?
When I was talking about how y'all hate y'all children. Well, not y'all because we don't have kids, but how parents indeed hate their children. Whether you black or whether you white, this to me is a subject that transcends people's race. There's a concerted effort to destroy the youth population. I don't know how long it's been going on for, but at this point, you'd have to be Ray Charles to not be able to at least see that. So whether we can argue about the Carmelo, the Nolan, or whatever case we want to argue about, what we can't argue about is there is a lack of quality parenting. There is a difference in how we are parented versus how we were parented back in, let's say, you and our day, or even the generation that was before us. There was a level of morals, there was standards, there was ethics that was just exemplified in the way the society ran itself. When you look at today, it's devoid of all of that. It is chaos, it is calamity that rules the day. And like I said, how can you claim that you love your children, but you introduce them to everything that actively destroys their lives?
Yeah.
And destroys their childhood. Right. When we've
And
normalized degeneracy. That's what it is. It's just the normalization of degeneracy. I mean, even if you look at like the, the gay parades or whatever those parades are, you'll see a bunch of naked men out there in
yes,
front of children, in front of children. And they act like it's no big deal. And I've seen videos where people will go to the cops and they'll be like, hey, look, this guy's naked and he's exposing himself with their kids out here. And they'll just say, well, it's perfectly legal. So yeah, I think we have normalized degeneracy in this country, and it's obviously spilling over into our children, because if you're not raising your children with any standards or any morals, I mean, what are we really doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. Woo! That's heavy. Well, that was a interesting conversation there. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the chat real fast and see what everybody's talking about. Shout out to Forever Black Diamonds. We appreciate you for being in the building. Yeah, you pissed her off, Mark.
I'm quite sure I did. How you doing, Black Diamonds?
All right, let's see. Liberals agenda and liberal operations. Yeah, PYT Tootie. Thank you for joining us, sis. I appreciate you. And she also said a lot of trans on children agenda has to do with genocidal eugenics towards population control to prevent more birth rates. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Me and Ray Sean was talking about, like, listen, just because they got rid of the Georgia Guidestones doesn't mean that they're not going to continue on with what they planned on doing.
yep.
See, a lot of people probably forgot that they got rid of those Georgia Guidestones the same way that they probably forgot that they painted over the mural in the Denver airport. Do you all remember that creepy ass mural that was in the Denver airport?
And you know what the Georgia Guidestones also revealed, right? It was a way for you to locate the North Star, which is called Polaris, at any time of the day. And so
Yeah,
with that being gone, that kind of destroys. There's been a growing, I don't want to go too far in the weeds, but there's been a growing conversation on these TikTok streets between folks who believe that the Earth is a globe and folks who believe it's a flat plane. Which I'm not trying to get too far into that. I'm just talking about one of the main reasons why they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones is, like I said, because there's certain information that's being held, or that the planet itself exposes to us that they can't do anything about. So they destroy it because they don't want you to have that information.
yeah, yeah. Woo. Well, let's go ahead and open up the history books. It's time for some vintage tea because sometimes today's headlines cannot be understood without yesterday's receipts. So tonight's vintage tea examines America's long and complicated history with Haiti. As you all know, that right now Haiti, the conversation with Haiti, it is hot because of this TPS situation. And I explained earlier how I felt some type of way seeing those things on their ankles. And I wanted to go back and kind of see if this is something that was always happening. Is this a new situation? Why am I only seeing it on Haitians? Why am I not seeing it on Venezuelans, on Somalians? Like, you gotta, I'm asking these questions. But I think it's time. Tonight's Ventures Tea, we're gonna talk about the Haitian Revolution and why do we think that America continues to have their neck on Haitians? Because there's definitely a reason. So let's go ahead and drop that heat. If you all have any comments, of course, let me know and I'll definitely address them. Let's go.
Every story has a beginning.
Let's go back,
The history they forgot.
or never told.
Vintage tea.
All right. So tonight's Vintage Tea, like I said, we're going to talk about that long and complicated history with Haiti. The Haitian Revolution, which I think a lot of people are not aware of. We didn't really learn about it in the history books. And it created the first independent Black republic and the only country established through a successful national revolt of enslaved people. The victory frightened American slaveholders and their powers and included political leaders in the United States, so much so that they had to run their asses up in Haiti and put a stop to it. The victory frightened them so much that Haiti was, even though they declared independence in 1804, the United States did not officially recognize it until 1862. American forces later occupied Haiti from 1915 until 1934. They also created policies that continue to influence Haiti through political intervention, immigration enforcement, economic pressures, humanitarian programs, and support for particular governments. They even installed a president of their own around that time. And understanding this history does not mean that we're blaming every American for every past decision. It means recognizing that America's relationship with Haiti did not begin with today's border crisis. So before tonight, I have a question for the chat. Did you all know that the United States occupied Haiti from 1915 until 1934? Yes, no, or maybe I knew a little. Just leave it in the chats, and we'll definitely love to hear what you all know about the situation. I do have a video I want to share, and then we'll go ahead and go to the panel to talk about this situation. Anybody got anything before I play this video? Okay. So one of the things that really I believe right now that's going on when it comes to Haiti is there is a bit of conflict right now between not only Haiti and the United States, but Haitian Americans and Black Americans overall. With the FBA conversations, we got the tether conversations that's taking place. I think that we could honestly say that there is a bit of a distance between us even understanding the fact that our country actually helped destroy theirs and then brought them over here, and they're the only ones that's being made I would say, I wouldn't say made fun of, but I just didn't like the TPS thing with the ankle monitors. And I don't feel bad, but I feel bad. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't feel bad, because this is what they were doing a couple of years ago. Check it out.
Came here for? Walk around? Nah, not to count sheep. We came to drink milk. Okay, so we've taken your jobs, and there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? And they gotta pay me more, because I got better work ethics. Better work ethics, I have more skills than you do. What you gonna do? That's what I thought. Nothing. We'll be mad. Oh, immigrants are taking our jobs. Yes, we are. You're all taking your jobs. Keep sitting at home playing that Xbox, okay?
Few moments later.
Protected status for Asian migrants, over 300,000. I think it was 350,000 Asian migrants. It's coming to an end, unfortunately. The Trump administration and Kristi Noem has decided that Haiti no longer meets the criteria of what they'll call refugee status or something to that nature, right? So they're moving ahead and removing the temporary protective status for over 300,000 Asians, and it starts to begin as soon as around early February. You dig what I'm saying? No.
Now, mind you, you all do know that they paused it, right? And now here we are today, and they're being forcefully removed. So I'm willing to I'm wondering if you all can help me, and I'm going to ask you guys this first. Do you all think America's relationship with Haiti is primarily humanitarian, strategic, exploitive, or a combination of all three?
Combination.
Yeah, it's a combination because of the resources. But when it comes to this the TPS situation, the ankle monitor stuff got thrown in there, but that TPS lift was also it was on Haitians and Syrians, and I think that's also like that piece of it was kind of taken off because they only focused on the Haitians, and I think it's because of the numbers. When we start talking about sheer numbers of groups that's over here, they tend to do that where obviously the Mexican number is high, the Haitian number is high. Other countries and stuff like that, other nationalities, it's low, so they tend to be forgotten because the Syrian number is not that high. So I would be very interested to know too. Y'all put the ankle braces on the Haitians. Did you put it on the Syrians also? So
Well, I think it's because the Haitians have made themselves, an adversary. They were the first nation to successfully overthrow the French Empire and repeal slavery in that nation. So they was essentially like the first free nation, right? And the United States, still practicing chattel slavery at that time, saw that and was like, "Oh, you're not about to set no example. If people see what y'all are doing over there in Haiti, then they're going to start that shit over here in the United States, and we're not going to have that because we're getting too much money from slavery. It's too impactful to our nation's economy. So in order to keep slavery going here, we had to destabilize Haiti. And unfortunately, it's kind of like how men see women. Once we put you in a certain category, that's just the category you stay in. And so once Haiti got put into the adversary category, that's just the position that they've been in. So it would almost seem like it's a mission to keep their country destabilized, to keep their people government dependent, and also to interrupt and interfere with anything that they have to try to stabilize their actual economy. Because it's been coups and all kind of things that have been orchestrated where if you look back through history, you can see the United States fingerprints all over it. Now, I am a United States representative. I'm all for America. Yeah, I'm all of that. However, I have to acknowledge our role in keeping this country destabilized.
I agree. I was completely shocked because I've always, I listen to a lot of these conversations when it comes to people speaking of the true heritage, the true lineage of Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, melanated Americans, indigenous Americans. And somehow, some way, I think it was called, what was the name of Haiti and Dominican Republic before it became those? Was it
Hispaniola.
I've always heard of of this country being in this conversation with America. Like there is this Spanish and French, like there's this relationship to what early American civilization was. And I felt it was just kind of wrong to put so much pressure on Haitians to leave when we are currently being scammed for billions of dollars by the Somalians. And somehow, some way, they were supposed to leave in March. But I think a judge in Massachusetts blocked the order for their TPS to expire. So it begs the question, why are we forcing the Haitians to leave? The people who have been here probably longer than any other immigrant in this country that's here right now, that's currently on TPS. But we're not going to put the pressure on the people that's actually robbing us.
I can tell you right now that I think part of it is going to always be where they are.
Yeah.
Because I when you start talking about the Somalians, when you start talking about sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, it's hard to go in there. I'm from Jersey. I know for a fact the Dominicans are heavy in New York and Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. So that's where we have to be with it to kind of understand the dynamics of all of this. It honestly and truly is sad. And I don't know if either one of y'all have ever seen it when Killer Mike was on Bill Maher's show and Killer Mike broke it down about Haiti to Bill Maher. Bill Maher had no fucking clue. Like when I sat there, that he was sitting there like, what? So when you brought up about people not knowing about the history of Haiti and what's going on, people don't. Because if they put something like that out, it changes the dynamic because we all know everybody have their perception. And usually a person's perception is their reality. And this is where the issues come in at. But the first video you played, he's an example of why the illegals are getting caught the fuck up, because you got certain illegals that get too comfortable. They start talking shit. Now you making it bad for all of them. Because I'm going to say it like this. All Haitians ain't like that.
No.
All Somalians ain't motherfucking thieves the way they ain't frost. All of them not. But once you do that, bullseye. And once you put that bullseye, you can't be mad when they come after all of y'all. You can't be, because it's situations like that. So it is what it is. And side note, I can show y'all the text. I got a text about how do I feel about the small hats and what's going on there. My response to them was, I guess it was like a poll. My response was, I live in the United States. I don't give a fuck about another country. They proceeded to ask another question, and I said the same motherfucking thing. I'm focused on what's going on here.
But, and I hear you, and this brings me to what Mark actually said last week, and now I kind of feel what he's talking about when I made my comment about Spain. That affects us too here, bro, because the same people that honestly are in the middle of these situations that's happening in these other countries, they have an open door here in America. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't got time to be getting shadow banned. It's the same people everywhere. It's the same people over in Iran. It's the same people over in Spain. It's the same people over in England. It's the same people over in Haiti. It's the same people over here. See, we don't understand that, like, we are being controlled by a foreign force right now. People that we seeing in Congress ain't even really making the plays because they paid off puppets. That's why I wish Kevin was here. He's a lobbyist, so he knows. So even though that might not be happening over here in America, it's happening because guess what? When things fall over here and Trump leaves office, if these Democrat socialists of America actually get what they want, guess what? They're going to open the floodgates and all their asses is going to come right back over here. And it's going to be circa 2023 all over again with Biden. Listen, it can happen. And I'm telling y'all,
I want all of the TPS for everybody to go.
Me too.
For everybody. I don't care what nation you are, and I mean that respectfully. Whatever your situation is for your people, that is what that is. But at the end of the day, America needs to shut down the Goodwill store that is helping the rest of the world out. Because now our country is turning into something that it's not. I was just walking through I'm out yesterday, and I want to say this is Frisco, Texas, right? I'm in Burlington Coat Factory. Don't you know when the place is packed? The place is packed, but when I walked through there, do you know it was only 5 white people in there, maybe 3 or 4 black people in this whole entire place? Now, I'm not saying that it has to only be white people, it has to only be black people, but there used to be a point in time when America felt like America. Now, when you go into these places and when you go into these malls and to these restaurants and to these places that used to be for us, it seems like it's something else. Like they're pushing an agenda to be about everybody else. And it's like America went from being a country to being a business, because now it's like we're open to anybody who has the money to come over here. And now when they come over here, they thinking that they have some sort of ownership, and that gives them right to institute their culture and their way of life here on our land. But if we were to go to their country and try to institute our way of life, we'd be beheaded.
Yeah.
Can I say this? Can I say this real quick, and then we go ahead and go on to the next topic? I think people need to understand something. You have a certain clique of people out there that talk about the cruelness of what they're doing with deporting people. They're giving these people the option to self-deport and giving them money to make sure that they do it so they can come back the right way. That's not being talked about. They want to talk about all this other shit. They're giving them the option. If you decide not to listen, then it goes to the next level. And I don't think that's fair that they aren't talking about that enough, because I think it's what, $1,500 or $2,000 to go ahead and self-deport to a lot of people. But they're not talking about that literally at all. They only focus on one side. I'm not talking about as far as in this situation as far as the Haitians. I'm talking in general. So my whole thing is, if they offering you that, take your ass back home to your country, come back the right way if you choose to, but the way things are going, let it happen.
Yeah, I agree. So just a quick question for the chat, and then I'm gonna go ahead and read some of these comments. Who do you all think first initiated the TPS ankle monitors? Who do y'all think? I heard that this started 20 years ago. It happened earlier in the 60s, but who do you all think first initiated it? Leave it in the comments. I really want to see. I'm gonna read these comments while y'all do that.
Ankle monitor?
So, yes, that's what they gave them. Ankle monitor.
No, I know that, but you said who started it because I'm thinking about how long.
Yeah, who started it for the immigrants? I am sorry for his first comment leaves me feeling glad that they have to leave. Did you hear what he said about the black people in America? And you know what? That's the thing. This is one of the things that I hate about being a Libra is because I be having sympathy sometimes at fault. That is my thing. That is why we have these balance. That's why we have the scales here because I always look at the balance in everything. The problem is that too many melanated people, even not melanated, they could be Hispanic, whatever. Too many immigrants came over to this country and they were very disrespectful to Black Americans when y'all should have been working with us. Because we would have put y'all up on game and told y'all, don't get too goddamn comfortable. Get legal and do what you need to do. But a lot of people got comfortable because they were within their own community of other illegal people who probably wasn't telling them, hey, you don't have to get certifications because you don't have to get licenses. You don't have to get any of these things because we already got businesses. We should never have been able to give illegal immigrants, I don't care how long they've been in this country, opportunities to open businesses. We should have never been giving them loans to buy houses. We should have never been giving them any type of government assistance. I don't give a damn if they drop 5 babies on American soil. We spoiled these people. So now we're
even be allowed to have jobs.
They should not. And
I
now
have
we're
no
in a
sympathy for anybody
situation.
who's in our country illegally. I don't care. I don't give a damn about your DACA status. I don't care about none of that shit. If you're in our lands illegally, your ass needs to go.
I agree. And I also do not like
if I come knocking, but may they come get you.
But I also felt some type of way when I had read that they were giving these corporations rebates when it comes to the I can't think of it right now. When it comes to the tariffs, why are they getting refunds when it comes to the tariffs? Walmart for sure should not be getting anything because guess what? They are probably one of the biggest companies I know that hire a lot of illegal immigrants. And not if they illegal, they don't speak English so much so that they give them cell phones.
Invite Tony back up, sis.
It turned back. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, invite Tony back up. Invite Tony back up.
Okay, I will in a minute. They give them cell phones for them to communicate with you. So it's just kind of like you know what you're doing, but yeah, you're going to reward them with it. Who told you to do that? The court system. The court system is our biggest problem right now, y'all. It's not the president. So once we get that in our mind, we'll understand who we need to be paying attention to. Next time it's time for us to vote for our elections when it comes to who we're putting in Congress. Because these people are not for the American people at all. They're not. It ain't got nothing to do with Trump. It got everything to do with these judges and Congress. And I'm willing to bet you that when it comes to the next round of people that's getting ready to leave, I wonder if they're going to get ankle monitors. Because I have right here who's next up. And I'm about to show you, and then I'm going to bring Tony back. Because now we need to be making sure that this isn't just happening just because you feel some type of way about Haiti because they whooped y'all asses back in the day. We don't have time for that. So these are the people that's next up. Hold on one second. Hey, show it. I got to go to the next one. So far, the next people that is up is Ethiopia. Ethiopia's next. It's not showing. So Ethiopia is next, August 19, 2026. El Salvador is next, August 31st, 2026. Venezuela is next, October 2nd, 2026. And Sudan and Ukraine is next, October 11, 2026. So they better have the same energy for them when it's time for them to leave. If not, then you know that they really just picking on Haiti.
Well, we got beef with Haiti. I told you.
We should have beef with Ukraine too.
but Ukraine didn't make themselves an adversary to us getting money. If anything, it's just the corruption may have gotten exposed because Joe Biden has been doing business deals over there for years. So Ukraine has never made themselves an adversary to us getting money. But Haiti made themselves a direct adversary of the United States of America by becoming a beacon of light for enslaved communities.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and Somalia, they were supposed to be gone July 29th.
yep, yep.
They were supposed to be going July 29th. They were supposed to be going in March. But remember, I told you that judge blocked it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were supposed to be gone July 29th. And I'm willing to bet, and then I'm going to be done with this. I'm willing to bet that the reason why they're able to stay is because of Somali world. Somaliland.
The Minnesotan Republic of Somalia?
No. You don't know what Somaliland is?
I thought it was Minnesota.
And then I'm gonna be done. But I gotta show y'all this. I gotta show y'all this. So Somaliland is actually a part of Israel. Yep. Minister calls. Let me get this out of here. Yeah, they're a part of Israel. I was trying not to even talk about these people on my Israeli minister calls for closer ties with Somaliland, Greece, and Cyprus and UAE. This was August 10th, 2026. They are actually a part. They have their own little country outside of Somalia. So, kind of makes you wonder, are they a protected class? I guess we'll watch and see when those times come up. Guess we will watch and see. All right, let's go to one more. They have absolutely no sympathy for us and was cutthroat to take jobs, housing, resources, and laughed in our faces. The thing about that is that who gave it to them? They didn't take anything. It was given to them. It was given to them.
By the Democrat Party.
Y'all better think about that next time y'all vote.
The Democrats strike again. Oh yeah, it's the Democrat Party. And the funny thing is, it's the Democrats that's cracking the whip on them right now. You think that it's Trump and all this. Keep trying to tell you, Trump has been instituting more Democrat policies than the Democrats ever even dreamed of. All of this shit the Democrats talked about in the 90s and the early 2000s, Trump is actually doing right now. And it just seems foreign and it seems crazy because he's showing you what the Democrat Party actually used to represent.
Yep.
Can I say this before we move on? And Shannon can attest to this, and probably Tony can attest to this too. I've always said Trump took every single Democratic policy, implemented it, and now they're mad because they have nothing to run on. They have nothing. He literally took everything and they swole because he's in the forefront. Mind you, some of the stuff he was saying too, some of the stuff he was saying back 30, 40 years ago, but now they're swole. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Trump is a liberal Democrat. I mean, he is. All you got to do is look at his policies. And honestly, if you listen to like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, if you listen to all of them from years ago, bro, they were MAGA before Donald Trump was. Like, Donald Trump has just basically implemented everything that the Democrats have been falsely promising for years. And when he actually did it, now they're pushing back against it. And they have the nerve to be calling Donald Trump right-winger. Donald Trump is freaking buying into ownership of private companies. There's nothing right-wing or conservative about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for waiting backstage to come back on, Tony. We've been trying to talk about the situation with Fauci and this COVID scam. We could actually say it now. How good is that?
Can you?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
But we've been talking about this.
We've
been talking about it. We tried to talk about it last week, but we got cut off. But either way, for everybody out there, Tony is actually from New York.
No way.
Is. You said what happened? Uh-oh. Everything okay?
Oh, the whole thing just froze.
Nah, I'm good. It's just not.
It's StreamYard.
There we go. We good.
Because you were like, yeah, COVID, and then all of a sudden my whole screen froze. So okay.
Yeah, it kind of happens.
Yeah,
it does.
It's all.
It's all good. But yeah, Tony is from New York and he's also heavy into the politics out there. And mind you, if you all remember, New York was definitely one of the country's earliest and hardest hit COVID hotspots. We saw the mayor with the nipple rings. What was it? The governor. Come on. It was heavy out there. So um we just definitely wanted to get an account of actually what you went through. So like what did you see out there? Can you tell us in like a short amount of time what happened?
Well, New York was the epicenter of everything. But the thing that's so crazy is it's like all of the guidance somehow was supposed to be like coming from New York. It just made no sense. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people have been. I want to see Anthony Fauci. I that man needs to be in prison. He needs
I
to be in
agree.
prison for the rest of his life. And the most heartbreaking part about this is so many people have been brainwashed. And I see people actually like acting like he's some type of a hero when he's in there pleading the fifth, when that man is literally responsible for like so many deaths in this country. So it's just crazy to me how so many people during COVID, they just decided to default to authority over them, as opposed to just like asking questions and listening to the actual science instead of just taking Tony Fauci as the science. And I think we failed a huge test on population control, and I don't feel good about what comes next based
Yeah.
on this, especially with the lack of accountability.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Foo.
I don't know how good y'all can read this. I don't know if y'all can read this. It says, be honest. You didn't trust the science, you trusted the TV. The reason why that is so important, and I can't stress this enough, everything we talked about 6 years ago, we said all of this. And they trusted the science and they trusted Fauci. And I'm not going to, fear is fear. It is what it is. But where is the, like them actually apologizing to lying to the world and all of these people who are harmed by what they did? Now,
Well, they're not going to do that.
oh no,
They,
I get.
they
Don't
can't
get
admit
twisted.
to it because
I get it, but that's the funny thing about that is, by Fauci saying what he said in that diary, they admitted that they lied to you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like Tone said a few minutes ago, y'all still riding with this dude after he told this man suffered from blood clots, which was one of the major side effects. And in the same breath, he's telling you to take it. There's a lot of stuff in that diary they haven't even mentioned. And it is sad because I know people personally. One of my homeboys off of Clubhouse said his mom's took it. He walked upstairs. His mother was cold. We talk about within
Damn.
hours. And for that to happen, and it's so, if y'all read the comments on that post I got, some of these people, what they got going on, it's sad. It's heart-wrenching. And the fact, that's why he got that preemptive pardon, because they knew this already. That's the other problem. Whatever that was in that diary, they knew this already. They knew this was coming. And they still, like, I hope I meet him again. RFK Jr. going off on Dana Bash was some of the best TV I ever seen in my life, because he held her accountable in her part with being on that news, being a news anchor and lying to the American people for years.
Mark.
Go ahead.
I personally think that if this is going to sound harsh, but if you were one of those people that were listening to talking heads like an Anthony Fauci back during then I'll just say ... because why in the world would you be listening to these people when nothing that they're saying makes any sense? If you just remove the fear mongering aspect of all of this and just listen to what they were telling you, they told you that this came from a bat, someone eating a bat at a wet market. Now think about how the food and how we digest things in our stomachs as human beings, and how and how animals digest things. The only way for you to get rabies or some sort of disease is if the bat would have bitten you. not from you eating the bat itself. So the fact of that was it was literally impossible for something like that to happen. But yet they told that to millions of people, and y'all just
Nah,
ate it
Mark,
right on
Mark,
up, man.
Mark, I
Yeah,
gotta tell you, you can't. This the only reason why you can't say that, because you're bringing logic into it. And the
Yeah.
one thing that trumps logic, as far as with us being human beings, is fucking fear.
fear.
When
Yeah,
you
that's
start
what
talking,
they fear mongered you into
no,
into believing is nonsense.
no, but that's the whole thing. When you start talking about fear, and then you have people who are gullible, and then you're threatening people with their jobs and everything like that. That's why we're in this situation. And to play on what Tony said about us failing, the way we would have passed is everybody saying no. If y'all want to say we're requesting that you do it, we suggest that you do it, that's cool. The fact that they mandated, and when you plan on what you said, the ridiculousness of it, offering hamburgers and French, like what's that, De Blasio on
Vax
the
that
news,
thing up.
eating the,
Joints for jabs.
yes, like, man, it's so sad. And I'm gonna say this to everybody, and if anybody catch feelings, honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be quiet. Y'all got it. I don't want to hear anybody say they were forced to take it. It was only one group of people in the United States that was forced to take it, and that was the children who had their parents force them. If you were an adult, you chose to take it because you could have said no. I'm gonna be quiet after that.
Well, I want to hear from Tony, and then I got to show y'all something. Go ahead, Tony.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna just say the easiest road to consent is fear, and that is exactly what they did during COVID. They just when you scare the shit out of people, it's easy to get them to comply.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people realize how insane things are if you take a step back and just look at it. You had people who were saying like, don't spend any time with your family, disinvite people from Thanksgiving. They were letting their grandparents, like telling grandparents to just like leaving them to die alone in hospitals. Like even, prescribing people, allowing hospitals to give people remdesivir, which has a 53% mortality rate. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I want to say something that a lot of people don't recognize. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. The reason why uh, medications like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin were smeared as some type of nonsense, even though we know ivermectin is an award-winning medication, like even for cancer treatments. The reason why that happened is because you cannot get an EUA, an emergency use authorization for a vaccine, if there is an alternative treatment that is available. So when they was out there telling you horse pace and all that other bullshit, that was just simply to get the approval for the EUA so they can make billions of dollars. And then you might ask, well, why did he approve remdesivir? Now that's a question, because with such a high kill rate, it almost seems like he wanted to see the death rate increase while not allowing people to take medication that actually works. So I want people to really start thinking about that, because we're thinking that, oh, well, we didn't know what was going on. We were confused. No, you got to start considering the fact that maybe these people actually knew exactly what they were doing. When you looked at Fauci's diary, you saw that he was clearly lying to you. The man had a cardiopulmonary infarction. That means he knew that the vaccines were having injuries. We know that everything that he admitted that he lied about masks. And the thing is, it's like with all of the lies that were told to the public, all of the contradictions, when they told you that the vaccine was safe and effective, and if you catch it, you're not going to go, if you take the vaccine, you won't catch it. Then all of a sudden, maybe you might catch it. Then you might catch it a little bit, and then it won't be so bad. All of that shit that they told you. And I still see people today who are so stubborn and facing their own cognitive dissonance that they can't just admit that they were wrong. And you know why you can't admit that you were wrong? It's because you showed the worst in humanity during that time, and you're embarrassed about it. You can't face who you are today because of the way y'all acted during COVID.
I agree with that 110% because my mom, she will not admit that the reason why her my stepdad and my auntie are sicker
Mm, mm,
than I've probably ever seen them is because they kept taking them vaccines. I took one. And the only
mm.
reason why I took one is because if I didn't take one, I couldn't see my only niece. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why. But they wouldn't let me be around her. And what's crazy is
Coercion.
I don't even have a relationship. I don't even have a relationship with her. I haven't taken another one. I done did the whole little detox to,
Good.
that we're supposed to do.
If you took one, I hope you
Good.
one of the people that got the placebo. To be honest with you, I hope
Yeah, I
you.
only got one. I mean, I haven't had no big issues. I mean, I'm still chunky as hell, but that's just because I eat. Um,
Y'all remember they
everything
said
else.
it would never be mandatory. Y'all remember they said that.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they
yeah,
said it
what
would
a
never be mandatory. It kind of reminded me of X Men 3 United back
Yeah.
when they had came up with the cure for the mutant disease, and at first they
Yeah.
told them that it was a cure and it would be optional and you could volunteer for it. But before the word go, they already had it in cartridge form, ready to be used as a weapon.
Oh,
But
oh,
I gotta share this with you all
This playbook is already you've already seen it.
after I introduce this amazing lady right here. If y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. What's going on, sis? Michelle is in the
Hey
building.
girl, hey, is this thing on?
Now,
hold
if
up,
you
Michelle.
are
Do you know Tony? Do y'all know each other?
Yeah, you know I love Tony.
Okay.
TikTok, yes, Tony
hey,
L.
how you doing? How you
yes,
doing?
y'all better definitely make sure y'all be following Michelle Monique, man. She be spitting some hot fire on there, and she wanted them get to the point, people, and I love that about her.
And
So I
guess what? I'm about to get to the point right now. I
go
know
ahead.
this your show, but
No, no,
me and
no.
Fool was talking earlier, right? And I
Yeah.
had sent him a video that I tried to post on TikTok and it got taken down within 10 seconds. They was mad. You hear me? And the video was about me saying, if y'all think that Fauci made money off of COVID, baby, y'all don't know how big this thing was. And it wasn't just PPP loans. You understand me? As a nurse on the front line, it was so much money coming through those facilities. Okay, y'all think they was paying me $5 and $8 and $10,000 a week for nothing? When I tell you the facility literally gave me a bed on a unit, go home for what? Girl, wake back up and clock back in and run that shit up again. Like that's
Mhm.
what was going on. And here's the reality, right? What people don't know, it was one of the worst experiences to ever experience because here's the thing, and not directing this to you, Mark, but I wanted to say this to you. When COVID came, we got to understand how much money was put behind it because of how much money that they was going to make off of it. That was one of the biggest fear mongering campaigns that America has probably ever seen in our
The
life.
world.
Let's be clear.
Hmm.
Every time we turned on a TV, we couldn't even see regular TV shows. All we seen was C-19, C-19, C-19. It
Radio
is what 4 6 years later, and people are still even scared to say those words because of what happened to us that was speaking out. If it was not for those clubhouse rooms and those clubhouse days, a lot of us couldn't even say what the hell was really on our minds. I remember so many fake ass doctors came in those rooms shutting us
Yep.
down, wouldn't even really
Hmm.
let us tell them what was going on. You hear me? As a nurse, y'all had no idea how many employees around me was talking trash about me on a daily basis. They called me Mr. Super Save a Ho, and I wanted to be the goodest nurse because guess what? When your mama was in that room, when your auntie was in that room, they didn't give a damn about them. You hear me? They was giving them water one time a day. They was changing them one time a shift, maybe one time a day. Nobody wanted to go in those rooms because they thought it was going to be the end of their life, except for me. You understand? And I never caught it. I don't know if it's because I never believed in that shit. I don't know if God said, you doing my work and you taking care of my people, I'm going to take care of you. I don't know what it was, baby. It never touched me. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand, it was so many shipments that we was getting of these PPE equipment, but yet we had to recycle the same shit over and over again. It was so many write-offs from Medicaid, Medicare. The fraud was way bigger than the people that was outside doing the PPP loans. The fraud was inside of these facilities. A lot of people knew what was going on. You hear me? So for people to not understand years later what we are going through psychotically, it was times where you go give a resident a vaccine and 10 minutes later her skin is peeling off. I'm talking about like some shit you seen in a horror movie. You understand me? You give a resident a vaccine and 5 minutes later they can't even talk no more. They look like they having stroke symptoms, or better yet, the morgue is coming to pick their ass up 20 minutes later because of that poison you just put in their body. So even when you just said what you said, pretty, people don't realize that. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for saying this. That it made a lot of people not able to have babies, and they don't even notice as of yet. You get what I'm saying? It was people who had cancer. Now your cancer came back because you got that damn Jabberwocky. That's what I call it, right? You got people who wind up having shingles and all that shit. All of that stuff started coming back to light once they wind up getting that goddamn jab. So it's people that don't even know what they are going to go do as of yet. You feel me? We ain't even tapped into all those young athletes that's just passing the hell out, and they wind up getting that damn Jabberwocky. So
DMX.
this thing, man,
Yeah, it's because it, because it activates the immune system, right? And it was very, you're seeing a lot of people who now have autoimmune disease after taking it.
exactly.
You're hearing people talking about turbo cancers that are just popping up out of nowhere. All of these young people. You know what I always tell people? If you taking that poison, or you took a whole bunch of them boosters shots and all of that stuff, go get a D dimer. Go get a D dimer test.
Yes.
And let me just say this, right? And you probably can't put yourself in people's shoes, but if you sitting up there and you making some of the biggest money you've ever made in your life, 7,000 a week, 8,000 in a heartbeat. Some people were through agencies, so you getting a 150 an hour and you getting paid
Oh
when you
yeah.
clock out. You understand?
Mhm.
And they say, "Hell, take this." Guess what people was doing? They was taking that shit. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And it was so people were so scared.
Traveling
Even
nurses was making money.
I heard.
every time we
What?
walked into the building, we had to put that damn swab in our nose. So for me, I would have the mask over my face and I would swab the mask and give it back to him. Here you go. Because
No.
it didn't make sense. And then the thing about it, they literally sticking it up here, my nose running, my
Yeah.
eyes running. Baby, this ain't what we're doing. You understand? So for me, I'm gonna be honest. My COVID card is on my cell phone. And the reason why I don't have
Oh,
a physical
okay.
one is because I paid for it. Stick
Chill,
me where?
chill,
Give
chill,
me what?
chill. Right, right.
And guess what?
I heard it
And y'all
coming.
know I'm still a travel nurse, although I haven't worked in a year. Do you realize that they're still asking for this card? They still, and then some of the companies are asking you to have at least 2 boosters.
Wow.
But
Oh,
this shit
please.
is all over the news. We got to make it make sense.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
make it make sense. And what a lot of people don't realize, the more nurses that you got in your facility to take that jab, the more money you was getting from Medicare and Medicaid as well. So it wasn't just the residents, all right? I don't know if y'all know that even the residents, if you got 200 residents in a facility, everybody who got that jab, they was getting a cut off of that as well.
Yeah.
They were also getting incentivized for every COVID diagnosis. They were getting a lot of extra money as well. But I did want to say something real quick. A lot of people don't understand how grossly the numbers were manipulated, because you were just talking about the test, right? Y'all know that PCR testing is not even a diagnostic test.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be used to diagnose COVID. Even the person who created PCR testing said that. And that was one of the mechanisms that they used to fearmonger people and drive up those numbers. And I'm going to tell you now, today, I can tell you that there's no way that anyone can even calculate how many people died. And that's because I'm saying the number is so much lower than what they've been reporting, how many people died from COVID.
Yeah.
There were people who died with
Hold
it.
on. I want to
Go
go to
ahead.
the comments after him. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say there were people who died with it. There were people who died within 2 weeks of getting a diagnosis, and maybe they got in a car accident, but because it was within 2 weeks, they reported it as a COVID death. My neighbor fell off of a ladder and broke his neck, but he had COVID a week before, and they reported his death as a COVID death.
Wow.
So people don't understand that there was a lot of manipulation of numbers, especially early when people were afraid to go outside their houses and go to the hospital. Remember that? Everybody was scared to go to the hospital because of the scary COVID. People were dying at home, and they were just calling those COVID because they didn't know.
Damn.
So,
Yeah. I heard people were calling like car accidents, people who died in car
and
accidents,
that was
saying it's
true.
COVID.
And that was
Pretty
100% true.
Shannon,
So,
before you go to the comments, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one thing that Tony forgot to say about the owner or the creator of the PCR test. He mysteriously died after he told Fauci all of this. Yeah, yes,
Was this the Asian doctor?
No, white dude. You got to find his videos. He said Ben said this shit and he's gone.
yeah, he just magically disappeared. So yeah, I just want people to know, look, y'all been duped. Y'all been had. And everybody that was trying to tell you the truth throughout the whole time, they were being shamed. They were being called conspiracy theorists, anti-vaxxers, and all type of pejoratives in order to get people to shut up. And that's the problem. Wait, let me tell you something. No matter what, always question the things that you're told, because if you don't, you're nothing more than a mouthpiece for somebody else's agenda. And we fell for the
Facts.
agenda. And that's why we had people like Bill de Blasio, my former mayor, who was on TV eating cheeseburgers and French fries and shit, saying, vaccine, yum, when behind closed doors, and I can confirm this, he was telling people that he knew that that he knew that the jab, remember the mandates they did in New York City? He
Yeah.
knew that those mandates were illegal. But you know what he said? It doesn't matter anyway, because by the time it goes through the court system, everybody's going to be vaccinated anyway.
Yeah.
So these people don't give a shit about your rights or the law. And it's time people start waking up.
Amen. All right, Forever Black Diamonds. Shout out to you. You've been going ham in the comments. The signs was clear. The Project Mockingbird was louder. Man,
Facts.
I mean, super loud, super loud. My girl Nakia's in a building. What's going on, Nakia? Yeah, Nakia's husband died from the J. Died from it. She said, I
that's
remember her
Nakia.
telling us this. Yeah, this Nakia.
Oh,
Yep.
oh man.
She said her husband was perfectly healthy up until he got that. I'll never forget that. Let's go ahead and see. Shell, you saw that came right on. I appreciate that. It was
That
definitely
was-
one of the biggest fear mongering campaigns. I ain't never seen nothing like that, and I don't think any of us have. I don't think that people understand the lasting effect that time had on us, which is why I will forever be confused on why people would still want to stand with the Democrat Party, because even though after that situation happened, Trump did everything, the Trump administration did everything the best that they could with what they had and the information that they had in order to not only protect Americans, but to protect our country and stopping flights. Nobody coming in, ain't nobody coming out, right?
Yep. And they called him racist for
And
it.
they called him racist for it. He did not decide to close down our businesses by itself. You know what I'm saying? There were people who was in his ear telling him,
Fauci being one of them.
Fauci being one of them, the guy who was over BlackRock being another one of them, Gates being another one. They were in his ear saying that he should close down. This is what happened. So even though after all of that, and we eventually started bouncing back, you can look at the chart and see that the numbers start going back up when people start going back to work. But the moment that they left them borders open,
it was game over.
That killed everything. That messed up our housing. That messed up our job market. That messed up everything, because it became all about the numbers, supply and demand, who we could get to vote for us to keep us in office, how many people we could get to work for pennies on a damn dollar. We're not gonna hire the felons no more. We're not gonna put the kids to work anymore. We just gonna go ahead and replace them with illegal immigrants, pay them less than anything. They ain't got to worry about rent because we're gonna give them Section 8. It became more about staying in power, all at the detriment of American people. So I'd be really needing liberals to understand that a lot of this falls on y'all's shoulders, because y'all really wanted to put them back in office after we saw what they were doing the whole 4 years. We never bounced back from COVID.
And people don't realize that's why it was so important for them to get Trump out of office, because they already knew what they were going to do. That was their agenda the whole time, if you ask me. And if he was to be in office during that time, they wouldn't have been able to get away with that shit. Literally everything he said damn near came to light. It was in a lab in goddamn China. That was true. He said that ivermectin worked. That was true, right? People don't realize facilities, we had to lock that shit up because of how people was trying to get access to ivermectin, but they kept saying he was this crazy person because he didn't. His delivery was off. I'm gonna just say it like that, because his delivery was off, and he was telling us the truth the entire time. And it sucks that it's like, okay, now we're here, right? Us as the American people was not able to refuse one vaccine, but this man can refuse to answer over 100 questions. At some point, bro, we got to make it make sense, because it don't. People livelihoods were put on the line. Y'all know how many small moms and pops businesses had to close because of some shit that we made up in probably in his back room somewhere?
Permanently.
Man, facts. My body, my choice. Oh, I forgot. Only when one refuses to think for themselves. Come on now, Mike. You ain't said not one lie right there. Nakia said this one of Food's favorite subjects. He giddy right now. Yeah, he's excited. He like a kid on Christmas right now.
Shannon, Tone said he got to bounce, so you might want to let him.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just got a little bit of an emergency, but
no, you're fine. We appreciate you for taking time to even come up here.
But I love this conversation.
Did you want to leave? Did you want to leave the people with anything? How can people follow you? Tell them about your app.
Oh, I will. But can I just say one final thing about this because I think it's important. Anytime Black people speak up in defense of Donald Trump or just to tell the truth about Donald Trump, everybody's like, "Oh, you know, you're like what do they call you? Like a coon, a Sambo,
Uncle Tom, Uncle somebody, one of them."
All that nonsense. But the crazy thing is that is the mechanism by which they use to fool you and to keep you constantly distracted and actually obedient to the Democrat Party. Because let me tell you something, Donald Trump was actually resistant to the lockdowns here in this country. He was overruled by Congress. I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans. Donald Trump was the one who actually shut down travel to China, and then they called him racist for it. Remember? Donald Trump was following the advice of Tony Fauci. And even when there were the lockdowns, you got to remember, it was short-lived from the Trump administration on the federal level. It was your local districts, Democrat cities that were locking everything down and shutting down Black businesses and other small businesses. And it was when Joe Biden got back in office, that's when you saw widespread mandates, even though when he got in office, he said, oh, there's not going to be no mandates. And then they came flooding in. So y'all got to stop being lied to like this and then just keep making excuses for these people. But I'm actually surprised we got to say so much like truth on this live. And I hope I could come back again. But I will say I'm building a new social media app where you guys like there's not going to be any censorship on there. And it's reframing the entire social media ecosystem and economy. It's called allofus.com. I'll give you the information on it soon. But man, this has been a good conversation. I appreciate all of y'all, and I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Absolutely. Thank you
later,
so much.
Tony.
Bro.
See you, Tony.
Right.
See you, Tony.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get back to the comments, and then y'all know I got to show y'all something because I don't think that people noticed about Fauci either. I was digging in the crates and I found something about him. Let me see.
Even talking shit about Trump in that diary too.
I bet he was. Next Ebola. The IR has already started our mint of govern is a criminal. Let me see. Taking all the hate for not getting the shot prepared me to take all the hate I get now for being a conservative. Amen.
True.
Amen. God bless you, sister. Expose the truth. All right. That's what we do here. If you refuse to stand for something, you fall for anything. Yep. You right about that, brother. You are right about that. So did you all know how close that Fauci was to the situation when it comes to AIDS?
Yes.
This is the same thing he did back in the 80s with that, and I don't see how we fell for that shit again. That's the craziest part about
That's
it.
the craziest thing ever. So for my guests, for those of y'all who may not know, before COVID, Anthony Fauci had already become one of America's most powerful public health officials through his work with HIV and AIDS. Now, AIDS was first recognized in the United States in 1981, and Fauci became the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases in November of 1984. His position gave him major institutional responsibilities for the federal AIDS research portfolio. And guess what? He sucked at it. Because during the AIDS crisis, activists strongly criticized the government for moving too damn slow, maintaining restrictive drug trial systems, failing to include affected communities, and allowing people to die while potentially useful treatments remain inaccessible. Fauci personally faced protests and intense criticism from AIDS activists. Now, he did eventually work with activists and supported expanded access to experimental treatments, including the parallel track approach. But as you can see, that shit ain't went nowhere. It's still here. It's still here. So I want to show y'all this video because y'all need to see these are the type of people that they trusted American lives with.
I'll get to in some of the latest slides how this disease, which we surmised early on, started off in the male homosexual population in this country. Not that there was anything intrinsically different or wrong or what have you about homosexuality. It was very simple. It's straightforward epidemiology. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population in which the spread among those individuals, if it's sexual contact spread, it's a perfect setup to spread. In any event, what we had was a concentration of cases, as you'll see here, in the New York metropolitan area, New York City and New Jersey, and in Los Angeles. Take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population in which the spread among those individuals, if it's sexual contact spread, it's a perfect setup to spread disease.
Now, the crazy thing about this is that this also brings us to a point when it comes to the Haitians. Wow. You know, Haitians were actually considered to be the people who introduced the HIV to America. No. Let me finish. This is what was said. I'm not here to stigmatize them, but this is what was said. That they introduced it to America, which I don't understand how that's possible. Who is calling me? Why is my mama calling me? I don't understand why that's possible. You should be watching the show. I don't understand why this is possible, considering that Rock Hudson, which was a white actor from the 60s, I believe, 50s or 60s, he got it in the 80s. Freddie Mercury from Queen, he got it. This was looked at as a gay disease that was going around Studio 54 in the San Francisco party scene. Yet somehow, some way, they pushed it over to the Haitians and said that they was the one bringing it over here because they had a birth rate of 90-something% of infants that were born with HIV and AIDS.
This is the only thing I'm going to say to refute somewhat of what you said.
I'm not saying this. I'm reading what was said to me.
I got you. But Anthony Fauci, during the AIDS time, all that shit time, out of his own mouth, he said AIDS came from a monkey in Africa.
He wasn't, but he wasn't the first one that said that. They were saying that in the 60s when they first found the virus, that it came from a monkey.
But that's what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is, you had people listening to that old white woman looking man, because he looked like the woman from The Incredibles with the bob or whatever. He looked just like her. That man came out his face. The people supposed to be listening to the science said that the shit came from AIDS in Africa, and then did the same playbook with what Redesivir. How do you pronounce that shit? The same thing that he did back then, he did now, and it's the same. Oh my God, I don't even want, that shit pisses me off. That shit right. That shit drives me crazy.
You spin an online day chat, find a mate chat, open up the okay profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go back to Nate chat, get it straight chat. Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Ain't in real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up. Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Ain't in real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up.
I know you can't stand it, no holding hands, chick. But when we get the shot, we gon' be romancing. Girl, you could be the queen after quarantine. We could meet up at the spot and we could do the thing. Internet date chat, I'm your mate chat. Download the app, shorty, you ain't gotta wait chat. I love it when you hold me, eggplant emoji. You could be the young hot thing, I'll be the OG.
This dude said eggplant emoji.
I lost.
Don't make me laugh because it's not funny. But here's what's so crazy about that video, right? Out of everybody, including Juvenile, that kept trying to force us to take that shit, they all quiet right now.
Yep.
Everybody trying to act like it never happened. And back to Manny Fresh, we can, baby. Anytime I date somebody, I'm asking you, did you get the vax? Because if the answer is yes, we can't even have a conversation.
Thank you.
I will never lay down with you. You will, no. Hells to the no. That's how serious it is. That's how deadly and detrimental that shit is. Man, no thank you.
I was dancing with it because that's what y'all was doing. Y'all heard that for the
That was the
994,
cringiest shit I've ever seen in my whole life.
and
Like,
y'all was like, "Yeah, we about to get some burgers and some French fries
I lost
and
all
have a
free
respect.
time of my
donuts.
life,
I
free
lost all
donuts."
respect for Juvenile when he did that shit. I'm good. I'm
I
good.
never even knew it exists.
I
Rayshawn
did.
showed me, and I cracked up because I was like, "Yo, is this for?" It reminded me of Mary J. Blige singing about chicken strips.
But see, the problem with that is when you start talking about New Orleans and their influence over there, that fucking video actually got people to get that
It
poison.
did.
That's why for me,
It
when I
did.
first saw it, I was like, I was so mad. I told Nola off of TikTok, if you ever see Juvenile, tell him he's a piece of shit to his face and tell him I said you can give my number and everything, because that shit right there, that was fucked up. That was real. When the song come on, I turned it off now because of that shit. It's
Yeah,
fucked up.
it's wild. It's wild. So we gonna go ahead and end on this note. Um, just a quick question. Given the federal government's failures and delays, even during the AIDS crisis, right? Something that we still dealing with today. Uh, why should the public have trusted the same long time leadership during COVID? Like, why would y'all have trusted Fauci, even if he failed with such a disease as AIDS?
Because the
And
Democrats have conditioned you to feel this way. This has been happening for decades. This isn't just a like what did Denzel say in the training day? You've been planning this shit all day. No, I've been planning this shit all week. This has been going on for decades. They have been putting the pieces in place to set this up for decades. And you think that it's about black people, how narrow-minded of you. It's about all of us. All of us will be impacted. All of us have a role to play in this movie. And ladies and gentlemen, they use these fear mongering tactics to convince you to destroy yourself. And then you willy nilly, you have, I don't know why you're not none the wiser. It's almost like they convince you to like turn your memory off, but you continue to fall for the same exact banana in the tailpipe year after year, the same exact schemes. Like I was talking about earlier, the scheme when they have you literally telling you that they're not going to mandate the vaccine, but then they turn right around and mandated it. That was in a movie. I just talked about it. It was in X-Men. Like the shit that they're doing right now is not even clever. They don't even hide it. They just pull this shit from out of movies, out of TV shows, and then they institute it in real life. And then you being none the wiser, you just automatically accept it because people like Dr. Fauci said so. But the key is doctor. If he didn't have doctor in front of his name, you would be like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? You would question everything that he said. But because it's Dr. Fauci, then all of a sudden he's above reproach.
yeah,
That's our problem right there.
yeah, go ahead, Fool. And then I gotta ask Nurse Michelle a question before
We
we move
gotta
to the
we have to
final.
be we have to be mindful based on what you said, Mark, and you have to flip that. It's called social conditioning.
Yeah.
Art imitates life. They put it in the movies. People get cool with it. They adjust to it. Then when it happens, they're not surprised. They put that shit in the movies to tell you it was coming. And believe me, this goes back way further than people think. If y'all can remember that miniseries V with the reptilians and everything like that, it was
I
only
ain't never
4
seen it.
episodes. They talked about this shit in that. So, and that was in the 80s. I remember watching it. I watched it again recently. So we have to understand the conditioning of these people. And it's so sad based on what Shannon said a few minutes ago. There are people still sticking up for Fauci, and it ain't just the Democrats. Because the problem is they don't want to admit that they fucked up. They
You
will
better know
not
it.
stay. The only celebrity, I'm going to say this, I'm really going to be quiet. I got to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is a comedian. I got a video for everybody to watch if you want to see it. He called them out, and he's the only celebrity that has been saying this from the beginning because he's vaccine injured. And they've been shutting him down forever. He's the only one. So huge shout out to him for actually saying something, because all the other ones, you're fucking cowards.
Yeah. Ah, well, all right. Quick comment. Okay, here we got Nakia said facts. Trump 1.1.0 handled it the way he thought would please everyone, and then he
Yes.
stopped going asking to get along. Trump 2.0 would handle it differently, definitely. Like he would have definitely handled it a whole lot differently. Because I'm gonna tell you, I didn't like Trump until I heard him say from China. And
I
I
knew
was
you was
just
gonna
like,
say that shit.
oh, that's
I
my
knew you was
guy.
gonna say that shit.
That's my dude right there. Like, because it's the truth. That's just how I felt. He said what I felt. Like, I felt like that's where it came from. Like, I felt like, and then guess what? To all the black liberals out here, while we were going through all of that, guess what happened? The Asian community was able to get a bill passed for them to protect them from any hate because of this situation right here. Because of this situation, and guess what they gave you? They gave you the Emmett Till lynching bill, and people is still lynching you. We just saw it. Now they're calling it suicide.
No, we got the hair discrimination bill. Remember? I don't know what that's called. We got that. We got our hair. You can wear whatever kind of hair you want.
The crown hat.
They can wear the wig. You can.
They can wear the wig and get them, I
and
guess.
that's why you can wear the white wigs, bro. I told you, let these folks wear whatever hair they want to, man. All right, I got one last question. We gotta end with this quick one. It's gonna be fast, but we gotta end with DSA. Like, we gotta end with that, and then we're gonna be gone from the day. Now, quick question for you, Michelle. Like, from a nurse's perspective, what should public health leaders have learned from the HIV and AIDS crisis about patient dignity, uncertainty, informed consent, and listening to frontline workers?
First of all, don't listen to their asses. Go with your intuition. Listen to your own self. Because here's the thing: going to work, I was the bad guy, right? Oh my God, you're gonna kill us. I can't believe you were able to show up to work. And I mean, they used to whisper and talk so much shit about me because I used my brain. I didn't go off of what another person told me. I actually, and it wasn't even a science, it was common sense that I used. You understand what I'm saying? None of it made sense. You set up here and you created a vaccine overnight, and then you want me to put it in my body? You out of your mind. We not gonna do that. And then the virus situation itself didn't make sense. But when it comes down to patient dignity and everything, we in a whole new world when it comes down to healthcare, and nobody cares. You understand me? And let me tell you, COVID, and this, y'all gonna probably hate me for saying this, but COVID was the best thing that happened to healthcare because it showed how many people was money hungry and nobody really cared for the patients. Nobody cared, really had compassion. If you look at COVID and you look up to now, nursing turned into a whole aesthetic. Nobody want to be a nurse to go in there and really take care of your grandmama and your auntie. They want the Stanley Cup. They want the cute tight ass scrubs that look like they're gonna have a yeast infection by the time this 12-hour shift over. You understand? Like real talk. And I hate the ones that come in there where a patient ring the bell and they need pain medicine, but you sitting up there talking to your no good baby daddy trying to figure out who he with, that you just sit up there and ignore them. You know what I mean? So some people actually wanted to be nurses because they care about people. They want to nurture people. Me, I felt like I was a superhero for my patients. I was their advocate. Some of them couldn't speak, some of them couldn't. That's what I was for. You understand what I'm saying? But you got the other ones that didn't give a damn as long as that check hit on Friday. You get what I'm saying? So, and this is totally off the record, but even with that Lindsay Clancy situation, people probably don't realize that lady never seen her in person. But if I get to do telehealth, I get to see more patients than I can see in person. And I'm just checking off check boxes and signing in little circles. And Medicaid gonna keep running that checkup. And that's what healthcare is all about these days, man. Like nobody cared. And if people really knew the fraud that's happening in the background, how many people can just run out here and say, oh, I got a home health. Oh, I got an agency. And they doing numbers on the back end. Man, it would hurt your heart, man. It will hurt your heart. And I'm gonna tell y'all gotta get yourself healthy because all of us on here, one day we're gonna be older. And those goofies that we see on the internet, they're gonna have to take care of us. And I don't think we're gonna win. I don't think we're gonna survive. I don't think we're gonna make it. So
Just
we
take
gotta
me.
start taking care of ourselves because
Just take me.
healthcare don't care.
Take me to the king once I start shitting on myself. I already made the decision. Like, once I can't hold my bowels, just
Listen,
take me to the king.
Obamacare was a scam. I just want if we about to end, I'm in the mind with that. Obamacare was a scam. The whole thing was a scam. It was just what she was talking about, an avenue for them to run up the bag. We had much better health care when it was individualized, when you had to go pay for it yourself, when we had a real market that wasn't being influenced or impacted by the government who doesn't know shit about how to run a business. Everything that the government touches when it comes to your business ruins it. And the healthcare situation is no different. And then what they did was they found a way to make money off of it. And they found a way to really run up the bag. Why do you think that the budget for all of this shit keeps increasing, but yet the symptoms symptoms for everything keeps getting worse, or things keep getting harder to get, or they're coming up with new diseases. Back when I was a kid, autism and all this other shit, this wasn't even prevalent. It wasn't even thought of. But now look at all of the diseases that you got to get vaccinated for before you can even send your kid to school. And all I'm saying is this is one big circle jerk between big pharma, the government, and you. And you got to realize that how you are the low man on the totem pole, and you're the one who keeps catching the banana in the tailpipe. And until you wake up and realize that you are on a damn plantation that you are chained to, you are going to constantly find yourself in a situation, and they don't have no problem with allowing you to use up every one of these pharmaceutical medications that they know are slowly killing you. Meanwhile, they hide the information from you that will actually help you. Like, there's a meme online where it shows like two lines of people. One line is going to the pharmacy, and it's spelled FARM-A-C, right? And then you see all these people happy, healthy, moving and living their lives. Then in the other line, you see the pharmacy, the PHAR, spelled of it. And when you see those people, they're all sick and decrepit. I wonder why.
Yeah.
You was crazy if you took that Fauci ouchie without doing the research. Anything that they're telling you about that they created in warp speed, how could that not automatically set off red flags, canyons, gushers, whatever mechanism that you could think of? How could that not set off every single alarm bell? Warp speed, when it typically takes the FDA 5 to 10 years before they can properly vet any vaccine at all. And now you're talking about the vaccine for the most deadly virus in world history. They're just going to automatically take this shit at warp speed. Are you nuts? But that's just all I got to
And
say.
see what that, but you know what? And the thing about it is that like it all comes down to how they did people when it comes to freedom of speech also. Like that was a problem for a lot of us. I know that was a problem for you, fool. You know what I'm saying? I know it was. It was a problem for me. Like we had
You
to
remember
stop.
it was a problem for Trump when they
It was a
took his
problem
social
for
media
Trump.
pages.
All of that. Like it was a problem for all of us. Like we had to call the shit jab and hot sauce, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was just too much, man. It was just too much. So that I didn't get a chance. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the chick who don't know how to like not say nigga so many times. Talking about Miss North Carolina.
We can follow.
That controversy.
I think next week we can follow up with the
Nah, because I ain't gonna really care. I just cared this week. The only reason why I cared this week is because we have this thing right now where non-black people are so like they want to say nigga so bad. I don't know what the infatuation is with it. But I just feel like when it came to this situation, and then I only really wanted to touch on it real fast. I feel like when it came to this situation, is that we don't vet these people, just like they didn't vet Fauci before they decided to put all of our lives in our hands. They didn't vet this young lady before they decided to put a crown on her head. If you knew that at 19 years old, 18 years old, that she was on X acting a fool, or Facebook acting a fool and saying nigga, nigga, nigga all through her conversation, why would you even allow her to be in that position and even run for something that's supposed to be so prestige, or that's supposed to represent North Carolina in this light? It comes to the fact that people are lazy in these positions. They're lazy when it comes to vetting, and they're lazy when it comes to putting people in positions where people are supposed to trust you. We were supposed to trust Fauci to do his job, and he didn't do a good job. So now it comes down to the point of is who can you really trust now when the government hires people if they're not vetting people?
I'm gonna give you a little, and I know you want to end this, but here's the reality, right? I call it the pandemic because it was planned. And I believe even Mark said that they've been talking about this shit. This ain't nothing that happened overnight. And I said this to Fu earlier. I said all this stuff that we see on TV with him being in court and they're yelling at him, like, baby, all of them had their hands in this shit. Everybody know what's going on. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody got a money grab when this happened. All of those small businesses that were taken, you got all those private equity companies and Vanguard and BlackRock that went in there and swooped all of that shit up. You hear what I'm saying? When those people lost it, and now they're the ones that's making money off of it. Granted that they're not going to turn them into what they want to turn it into. You get what I'm saying? So all of them, the government is the biggest scam that we've ever. that we probably ever endured. All of them know what was going on. And when I tell y'all, I know y'all tired of me being a Trump dick rider, right? But this is why I fuck with him, because when it comes down to playing characters in this movie that we're in right now, of this bullshit called life or the Matrix, whatever you want to call it, Trump has been the only consistent character. And that's why I rock with his ass. He ain't never changed. He's always been an asshole. Let's be clear. He's always been arrogant. He always been egotistical. He always been cocky. He's always been a dickhead. Has that changed since you known him from being on The Apprentice? Hell no. That's why I rock with him, because he's consistent. He say the shit that we're thinking, but nobody is scared to say. That man was never a real life politician. Hello, but he was a real life gangster. That man from New York. And if you know anything from us up north, we don't give no you know what's. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that he was saying, in my eyes, he was trying to protect us. The delivery was just off. So in some of our eyes, we looked at this man as being a psycho. At least that's what CNN told us to think, right? That's what ABC and CBS, he's crazy, he's this and that. No, because he's not a Joe Biden feeding us bullshit. Because he's not a Kamala Harris feeding us bullshit. He's not a whack ass Obama that came in acting like he was for the black people, but really rock with the other ones. That's why now we see rainbows everywhere, and our goddamn kids running around here with the bent wrists, going to school thinking that shit is cute. But I'm gonna go ahead and end because I feel like I'm venting right now.
Can
But
I say
Trump has
something?
always been consistent, man. So when
Yeah.
it comes that man, this
I
shit was
got
called the pandemic because it was planned. That was one of the biggest money grabs. Y'all think they made money during HIV time? They ate like it was nothing. I'm talking about in the billions, probably not the trillions. They ate. Everybody got
Who
a
gonna
cut out
check
of
me,
this
man?
shit. And
what's
you
the
got
Who
to
name?
gonna
think,
check
of
us?
those of us who think that we was touching money, even us who thought we was doing our big one with them PPP loans, they was getting a cut off of that shit too. They said, I'm gonna go ahead and front you this 100,000, and I'm gonna see you in the back end and give you 5 to 10. Hello.
Michelle said something, and I think we all need to. I'm definitely going to probably make a post about this. Any politician who has any stocks in any of those vaccine companies, they need to be voted out. I don't give a fuck who it is. If you had stock in Moderna, if you had stocks in motherfucking Pfizer, all of that shit, then you need to be voted out. And the last thing I say to that is, with all of the shit that was going on the media and everything like that, Pfizer is the biggest sponsor of CNN. Conflict of interest all day long.
Well, well, huh, man, listen, y'all, this was a lot. I'm glad to be a part of this conversation, but this is some scary stuff that we dealing with right now when it comes to these folks. I don't know if y'all heard of them. The DSA, Democratic Socialists of America. All right. Now we are ended with them. And if you don't know who this is DSA. They are a socialist membership organization. It is separate from the Democratic Party. And their approach generally argues that essential institutions, including healthcare, should be organized around public need and democratic control rather than private profit. So we are using that position as a lens, not declaring it the automatic solution. But I really want to play this video because this is what we up against right now. Not even as conservatives, but also as Democrats. We told Democrats that their party was being taken over when it come to progressive.
This is communism, and let's just call it what it is. If you support this, you're a commie. In
Yep.
the 70s, they would call you a commie. In the 60s, they would call you a commie. And right now, I'm gonna look you dead in your face and say you're a commie.
Roll the clip.
Go ahead. Got to go back. No sound. Can y'all? I can't hear it.
Me neither.
You can't hear it.
Nah.
It's to the top of the. It's loud as hell.
Nah. You might want to. You might have to go out. You might have to go out and come back in because it's no.
Yeah,
sound
I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm not.
I mean, we could. And I was just going to say, Mark mentioning about communism and everything like that. The problem that we have in America is that most people don't. They can't distinguish. They don't even know what communism means. They have no idea.
What is communism? Like
it's a form of
just
Marxism.
quickly.
Like when the government basically owns everything, and it's supposed to be the perfect government because essentially it gives everyone equal footing on everything. Everyone has health care, everyone has somewhere to live, everyone has food rations, and ideally it's a perfect society. But the reason why all communism fails is because without capitalism it lacks incentive. You need incentive to create the things that we have. The reason why America is what it is because it was incentivized. There's a financial gain for you coming up with an idea like the iPhone or your Apple Watch or a pair of designer sunglasses for whatever reason. When you have a capitalist society, you have something that's like an engine to drive innovation. When you have communism, there is no driving of innovation, because why in the world would I work harder and come up with things and take technology and be a leader in society when I'm going to get this same exact benefits from someone who does absolutely nothing?
I agree with
That's
that.
the reason
Yeah,
why when you look
I'm
at
not
every
okay
country
with
that
that.
has practiced communism, it's been failed.
So let me say this, Mark, or let me ask you this question, your opinion. It kind of ties into what Pretty said as far as this is what we're up against, right? Just what you're saying that and giving that explanation, this gives me an idea of what they are trying to portray in Project 2030. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Hmm.
I am.
So
That's the real
you
thing that
see
we
how
need to
that
be
ties
concerned
in
with.
together? That's probably where they're trying to push towards and bring all that into play, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, and I believe that's the
Wow.
agenda that's being executed. I think that the whole Project 2025 thing was just a farce to keep you continuously distracted from the real things that are going on in our country. Donald Trump has kind of been like a stopgap preventing what's I think what's coming our way. We're in a perfect storm of things happening where our birth rates are declining, our society is devolving, and we're actually being infiltrated and taken over from within our own borders, and we have no idea what's even happening about it.
But you know what? I be wanting to notice, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't really think our birth rates are declining like they say that they are. Because are they only declining with Americans? Because every time I look up, I'm seeing another person from another country with a whole bunch of kids. If
Yes,
I'm not,
that's what they're talking about. In particular, they're talking about the white population. The
but
white population used to be like 67% of the country. Right now, they're like 61, with their rates continuing to drop. And if we continue down this pathway, then it will be a matter of time before the minorities actually outweigh the majority, which will be white America. And I know that us as minorities, we sitting here championing like, well, that sounds like a great idea, except for the minorities that are going to overtake the country are not aligned with our goals as people and as an American society. We are more aligned with white America than we ever could be with a foreign entity.
I don't even. That's the well, and even with that, let me take this down real quick. Even with that comes, I don't even. That's why I was saying on the last time we talked about it. I don't even think that white America understands that they are being infiltrated
Right. That's
because a
why I'm
lot
like,
of
there's
these
no point in
people,
us staying racist against each other. We need each other right now.
well, I
More than
mean,
ever.
we do, but I think that, like I said, they don't know. Like we're dealing with the delineation right now.
Right.
Sorry, we're dealing with the delineation. We understand that we have cosplayers in our community. We understand that we have people who are melanated who are able to come into our community who look like us. I just saw a video the other day that's probably like 5 minutes long showing how many people from foreign countries have been able to attach themselves to black culture without us even knowing.
But that's
White Americans are not doing that. They're not calling out the fact that they got white South Africans coming over here that's been attaching to their culture. They're not talking about the fact that they got people from New Zealand or people from Australia or people from England or people from Russia who probably have extremely racist views that have been able to attach themselves to white culture. So just because we may see a violent situation that happened between a black and a white person, we might not even know that they
They
might
might
not
not
even be
even
white
be
Americans.
from here, man.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So white folks, they need to get on code when it comes to that also. Y'all need to start calling out these people who are not white American, because it's a lot of them that are here and they've been doing this for a long time. If you look at Django is a perfect example. Notice how many people that was on that plantation that had those accents. They were not American. They were not American in any of those New Orleans documentaries when they were talking about the vigilantes that were shooting black people who were trying to steal food. They had accents. Y'all have a lot of people that's in your organization, in your communities, that do not care anything about America, whether black or white. They don't like you. They're just as jealous of you as the other people are jealous of us. They don't like you. So when you all think that just because and the government did this on purpose, y'all know that, right? When they allowed so many of them to come over here to inflate their numbers because it was more of us at one point than it was of them. But in order to make it seem as if we are the minority, we've been at what, 12% for what, the last 60, 70 years now?
Yep.
That is a damn lie when we got 64 different types of nigga in this country right now. There's no way. And they having hella babies.
Yeah.
They having hella babies. You got Africans having babies with Black Americans. You got Black Americans having babies with Haitians. You got Haitians having babies with probably some Somalians. We didn't even know that 21 Savage was from England, damn it. Come on, man. The numbers are lying. Stop using that right there.
Culture by doing that. And
go ahead, bro.
And we can sit up there and we can laugh like it's not that big of a deal by allowing all of these people to come over here and slowly tear at the fabric that is America. But it's not going to be long till you see people walking around in hijabs and kebabs and all that other crazy shit, and you don't even recognize what your country used to be. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody for any reason, but I have to say this. If it's okay for other people to protect their own country, why is it wrong for America to want to protect American culture and American values? People are quick to say that we don't have any culture, we don't have any values. And I would like, are you high on drugs? We have the most culture. That's our number one import to the rest of the world. If you don't know, America is in a trade deficit. We owe the rest of the world money. The reason why they don't come take it is because we got the U.S. military. And our biggest export is our culture. The American way of life, the American dream. And slowly but surely, the Democrat Party have found a way to erode that by allowing in the third world. You've already seen how this has completely ravaged and destroyed Europe. We just seen an invasion in the city of Ceuta. We just literally have seen, this is not like I'm pulling this shit out of my ass. I'm telling you actual fact. If you don't wake up, America that you know and that you celebrate, all my black women out there, all my white women out there, y'all love lashes, y'all love sandals with your toes out, you love the long fingernails, you love the long weaves, no matter, because everybody wear weave. Y'all love the weave, you love your little midriff shirts and all that. If these other folks get in office and take over our country, all that shit goes away.
But
y'all think that Handmaid's Tale was a TV show until it starts happening in real life. Y'all better wake up.
But it's happening, Mark. Not to cut you off, it's happening right now with Omar, with fucking Mondami. And I don't know if you guys are aware of what they're doing, erasing all of the books and burning books and shit. They're trying to erase American history, and it's happening right in front of our face. But we too goofy fucking dancing and bitty bopping on TikTok that we don't even give a damn.
Yeah, and then you also got to remember on top of that, I hear what you're saying, but like I just been noticing certain things, and we could go all day long and talk about the things that we know that the Democrats are doing, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I don't think a lot of these Republicans is on our side neither. They've been infiltrated just as much. You got to think about the Uniparty. The Uniparty was some real life stuff.
That's why you see the pushback.
Exactly, but I also believe that Trump was one of the ones who was trying to go against the playbook. He was the one, and you spoke about this. He was the one, he's holding the floodgates back. He's the only one that was trying to go according to his own playbook. And on top of that, I believe that when he came in, he had all of these ideas that he wanted to do. But somehow, some way, somebody was just like, nah, you can't do that. This what we need you to do. Enter the war. It wasn't supposed to be a war. We were supposed to be focusing on America first. It ain't been America first for a long time.
Yeah.
You gotta factor in. You have to factor in. Pay attention to the midterms. Pay very close attention who has decided not to run. Though not 90% of the people who decided not to run for re-election in the midterms are part of the Uniparty, because they can't. They know they fucked. That's and it also plays into, don't forget, USAID. What's the other one? USAID. What's the other one with the voting stuff? It's not. It was the I can't remember. It started with a B, I think. Blue something. But those two things that they took out, they fucked their money up. And mind you, both sides were getting that money. So there's a lot of things going on right now that we got to pay attention to. we're watching.
USAID was funding hip hop. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yes.
Once they cut off the funding for the USAID, there has been no rap single in the top 40, and this is the first time this has happened in, like, I want to say, a 35-year history.
And USAID.
It's happened twice since the USAID has been defunded. And all I'm saying is there's a direct correlation between the music that was I guess pushed towards the forefront as far as your Megan Thee Stallions and some of the more gangster artists with negative messaging. It's not a coincidence that all of that shit was being pushed to the forefront, and it was the loudest music that you could hear. And then the minute USAID no longer is being funded, now all of a sudden we can't find a rap song that's worth listening to.
Yeah. Well, I found this video. This just gonna close us out. It's a 3-minute video where this guy actually snuck into a DSA meeting secretly, and this should be quite interesting. I haven't even watched it all the way through, but from what I heard so far, we got a bunch of people who ain't even from this damn country deciding on what the hell they want to do with the country.
Yep, I seen this video.
So check it out.
That's right. I was there, and they're not going to be happy about me publishing this video at all. Too bad. Have you heard of the People's Forum? It is the radical left-wing organization fueling the rise of the DSA in American politics. I snuck into one of their meetings at their New York City headquarters last week.
All right, guys, we're walking up to the People's Forum office right now. Wish us luck.
We made sure our spy pens were on and ready to go, recording audio and video, and we proceeded to walk into the venue. We had no problems checking in, but we were told up front that there was absolutely no recording allowed during the meeting. Listen to them brag about how they're taking power using undercover operatives for the DSA, including illegal immigrants. Their code word for illegal immigrants is compañeros, which means comrade in Spanish.
We know that the eyes of the capitalist class and the surveillance state is on the left, right? And then we have to take that threat seriously. I just want to say that as an immigrant who was not born in this country, as a formerly undocumented immigrant, as someone who just got her citizenship in 2016, I did not openly identify myself as a socialist. For a while, I was a closeted socialist. So I understand that, sometimes because of our own safety, because of the political context, because of your power, you may not be as out and proud or active in particular roles that may be public in your politics. But what I do want to say is that there are so many ways in which you can be involved behind the scenes in small ways. Part of the work that I did, and the reason I moved to Queens, was because I saw the political power that undocumented workers and undocumented people in Queens were building. And I see some compañeros here that I work with at NICE, Barbara, shout out, compañera, who were part of this movement, right? And so I know deeply and personally and firsthand that you don't have to have papers to have power. Right?
We need to band together, and we need to get ready for this war that's coming up. No more of a class war.
So just look at all the communist literature they had everywhere.
The Communist Manifesto.
They had Lenin.
Manifesto for sale.
Give me a break. They're not.
I'm just saying, y'all, white Americans, Black Americans, Native Americans, Mexican Americans, if you are an American citizen, you need to pay attention to what is going on when it comes to these people. This ain't got nothing to do with what race you are. If you are an American, and you represent this right here, or if you represent this right here, that's why I got these two flags behind me, because this is who I am, period. We need to put this race war crap aside. We need to stop it now. Y'all need to cancel, stop following these people, these Chud the Builder people. Anybody that's pushing any type of division, separation, negativity, this is a white country. at the end of the day, the country belongs to the people who love it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't
and who
matter.
belong here.
And belong here. So I told y'all already, we see who's up next when it comes to this TPS shit. Let's see if they gonna get ankle monitors. And I land my plane on that one. Y'all can finish it out. That's how I feel.
That was a mic drop.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And guess what?
Not on my watch.
Is this gonna keep going on? Damn it. We out of here. We ran over, but that's all right. God is good that we here. We had some good soul food tonight. Thank you, Michelle.
We should all be full.
We should all be full spiritually and with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But food is definitely next up on the list. I love y'all so much, man. Thank you, everybody that came through. Nakia, I appreciate you. Shell 315, thank you. BKC 85er, thank you for coming through. Marcus Starr, we gotta have you on the show, bro. I'm gonna have to hit you up on Facebook and see if I can get you on here next time. 504 Ray Fisher, thank you always for coming through. Who else we had in the building? Let's see. Shirley Smith, I thank you. Michael Chuck, I thank you. For everybody, thank you, Tony. Thank you for Forever Black Diamonds for coming through. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your Monday to sit with us and pull up a chair and really listen to us. And we hope you all enjoyed this conversation. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and keep it cute in the conversation in those comments.
I say this real quick. If
Go ahead.
anybody wants one of these shirts, the front says facts over feelings and fear, and the back says be honest. You didn't trust the science, you trusted the TV. If you want one of these, hit me up with your size.
Yes. Anything you want to say to end this out, Mark?
Yeah. If I said anything tonight to piss you off, shout out to you. Have a great night.
Michelle, you got anything you want to drop your social so people can follow you?
All of my socials is Michelle Monique. IG, TT, FB, YT. All of my socials is Michelle Monique. So if you guys want to follow me, feel free to follow me there.
Yeah. Absolutely, y'all. Thank y'all so much again, man. Hey, make sure y'all keep it gutter and let us know what topics y'all want to touch on. We'll definitely love to hear from our people that support our show. We'll love to have you on. Let us know what you seeing in the atmosphere that you feel like we need to talk about on the Realist Lounge. You know, we all ears on that. So we'll see you all next time, and we about to get up out of here. Peace out. All
right, y'all.
Good night.
The Realist Lounge, hosted by Shannon Nicole with Unplugged, Mark the model. Yeah, we ready, let's go. Pull up a chair, it's time to make the people aware. Bringing culture into context, truth, no nonsense. The Realist Lounge.